Hello, everyone, and welcome to Gamestack episode 78, the 2020 Stack Awards. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. We are so happy to see you here today.
Stub my toe. I stub my toe while I'm sitting. That's talent.
Well, I'm Shalene, and joining me today are a very lovely panel of people. Of course, we have the impeccably dressed Vendertron. Hello, Vender.
Hello, happy Friday, everyone.
And of course, Rick McVick. Hello, Rick.
Howdy.
And we are also joined by a couple of our favorite guests. We have today with us Tim Twig. Tim, you're muted.
It wouldn't be the
Maybe stay muted while you say those words, okay, Tim?
That's like the famous phrase of 2020 is you're muted.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tim says roll with
love
it.
you.
Okay.
We love you, Tim.
We'll see you in a bit. Thanks, Tim.
We are also joined by the lovely Mistress LeBeau, Liz.
Hello.
How are you
glad to
doing,
talk to you
Liz?
Welcome.
again? I haven't talked to you
I'm excited
forever.
to talk to everybody.
It's so nice to have you
Yeah.
back, Liz. And for everybody listening in, if you guys don't remember, Liz and Tim joined us for BE3 last year, and Shalene was actually there. So we had her after the event happened, we had her fill us in, which was really cool. How does it?
She was very excited. I remember that.
Yeah, she was so. You were so excited
It was a
to be.
good time.
Yeah.
The cigarette
It was a
voice.
There's.
Really great show, and I think that's the last time I used Zoom, honestly.
Oh really?
Yeah, me too. Me
Yeah.
too.
Tim, you're back. How you doing? How you doing, buddy?
I'm great. I'm amped. I just slid into home plate. I haven't had time to change. I'm feeling underdressed. Thanks, Fendi. You look fantastic. But
I could take
I'm
my
here.
shirt off. It would make you
I'm,
feel comfortable.
I'm happy to be here. Yeah, it's maybe later, after show. I don't know.
I'll let you in on a little secret. It's all business from here down. I have pajama bottoms on and slippers, so
So we're celebrating 2020.
classic.
Yes.
This is my 2021 outfit. Yes.
Lovely. So lovely. Well, before we get into the main event, I would just like to mention a couple of things. Rick has started doing a stream on Wednesdays, so that
Yes.
will be a regular stream. I believe you're doing Cyberpunk just now?
For now, I mean, I'll flip flop back and forth. I haven't settled on anything permanent, but it'll be at 8 p.m.
Oh.
on
Okay, 8 p.m. Eastern?
twitch.tv/. Yes, of course.
Okay, then you can join Rick at 8 p.m. Eastern on Wednesdays for some nice Rick streams.
Lovely.
And of course, we will be back for Survival Sunday this Sunday. I don't know if we're gonna finish off Left 4 Dead 2, or
It's
if
over.
we
I
are
mean-
gonna do more Raft.
Yeah, I'm not
We
sure.
promised the people. We promised the people.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. So
I
We'll
love the
see.
people.
we'll see. We will see what we end up playing on Sunday, but you can join us at Survival Sunday, 4 p.m. Mountain Time, because let's just keep it confusing. If you're tuning in live, host us on Twitch. If you're not, tell your friends, share the show with all of your video game inclined friends and their grandmothers and their grandmothers' dogs. And of course, join our Discord server, which is a lovely, lovely way to connect with other listeners. Today, we are going to skip a lot of our usual Gamestack fare. We won't have GameStalk. We won't be covering news. We are just going to roll straight into the 2020 Stack Awards. And if you are joining us for the first time, if this is your first time joining us for the Stack Awards, how this works is a little bit differently than the way that other shows do their awards. Each host brings a nomination for each category. We've had the categories in advance. So each host brings a nomination, and then we all just talk it out and pick a winner together. So
Yes. And if we can't pick a winner, we usually challenge the other person to a duel.
Yes.
And then there's bloodshed, and then eventually we have a winner. So
And that's why I'm
in
here.
the
I'm
end,
here
it
to
works
judge
out.
that.
Yep. And we also
yeah,
have
we don't know what the winners will be. yet,
but we have all of
we'll
last
see.
year's winners, do we?
We do.
So
yeah.
we'll be
Did
able
you
to
wanna
compare
Yeah.
those as we go along, because I
We sure
forgot
can.
what we chose last year for like game of the
Mhm.
year, which I thought ended up being something totally ridiculous, and Rick was like, I can't even believe you guys picked this. Like,
Last
It
year's
might have
game of
been.
the year was A Plague Tale: Innocence.
oh
Yeah, that
yes.
was the one. I was like, I didn't think.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
was-
The close
That's
contender
right.
though was Tetris. What was
Oh,
it?
yeah.
The
Tetris 99.
Tetris 99
was brilliant. And Tetris 99 got a special award, the Literal Stack Award.
yes,
Shailene,
yeah.
you still owe me a match, by the way.
Yes, it is on,
Yes.
Timothy. We have to do this. We should do it on stream so that people can see
Where's
your
my Switch?
terrible defeat.
Okay, bye Tim. Bye Tim.
Okay, Tim is gone. Tim's gone to get his Switch.
hurting cats.
Yeah.
But before we do that, let's go over the Stack Awards. We're going to start with our first category, Best Narrative. Vendor, what is your nominee?
Oh, my nomination for Best Narrative, and this might come out of left field, is Breath Edge.
Breath Edge.
Yes, and you guys may not know what Breath Edge is, but I've played about 30 minutes of it.
What?
So that's enough.
This is why it gets my nomination. The 30 minutes that I played of it, the narrative in this game is absolutely hysterical. It is some of the funniest video game narrative I have ever heard, ever. I was in stitches the whole time. It's absolutely so endearing. You have to play it. It's fantastic. That is my nomination, Breath Edge.
Okay.
So tell me more about Breath Edge.
Yeah,
Is it-
sure. So, Breath Edge is you start out as an astronaut, and it's sort of like a space survival game, and it's this dark comedy, and it's set in the future of a time when people monopolize space and try to make money off of it. But you're on this freighter that is transporting people for a funeral, literal people that are the star of the funerals, so it's just bodies. And
I like that way of thinking about it. Like I'm the star of this.
yeah,
That-
well, I
yeah,
mean,
that was amazing. I
you
loved
should
that.
be. I mean, anyways, you are armed with an immortal chicken. Okay, so you can literally, if you need to clean out a toilet with this chicken, you can do that in this game. It's brilliant.
Why would you
What-
do that?
What?
Because
wouldn't
the
you?
chicken is immortal. He's fine. Don't worry about it.
It's got a nice hard
Oh,
edge. It's got
oh,
a flexible
oh,
neck.
oh.
You can get that thing in there pretty
Oh
pretty
no.
well.
No.
I had a leak on my spacecraft, and I was like,
Monsters.
"Oh, what do I do?" Put the chicken right in the hole.
Okay. That's okay. It's not cleaning your toilet.
It was
okay.
great. Anyways,
Okay. I have
so-
a question. Can you eat the chicken?
well, he's immortal,
He's
and
immortal.
he's like one of the most important parts of the lore of this game, and I haven't figured out what exactly his role is yet. But anyways, so you're on this space liner, and it crashes because it like collides with this giant meteorite. And your job is to try to survive while somebody comes to save you. But the onboard computer is where the narrative really gets you, because he's really like sarcastic and cynical, and he just hates everything. And he's like, someone will be by to save you in 1,648 years. and it's just like really
Good luck, Chuck.
awesome. Yeah, it's pretty great. So, yeah, I recommend that you check it out.
Nice.
Lovely. Rick, what is your nominee?
My nominee for the best narrative of 2020 is a rather groundbreaking game in and of itself. It is Half-Life Alyx. And it takes place in between Half-Life 1 and Half-Life 2. And it was one of the most immersive, just the gameplay-wise, was one of the most immersive experiences that I had. So it stuck with me quite a good bit. And then plus, like, being a fledgling of Half-Life lore, I don't know a ton of it, but just knowing a little bit of it, I really liked the setting that it was in and the story arc that it takes. So, yeah.
Great.
I want to play that game so bad.
It's so good.
It looks
That's one of
fantastic.
my
It
plans
really
to
does.
stream. I want to stream that, so.
Oh, nice. I hope you do. I'd like to watch that.
Yeah.
Sounds
Same.
great.
Please do.
I will try.
Tim, what's your nominee?
My nominee for Best Narrative for 2020, Ghosts of Tsushima.
Oh,
The last time I picked up that controller, I couldn't put it down for 9 hours straight.
Ooh.
okay.
That's quite a
That's
session.
that game is really good. It's another one of these huge open world, make your own adventure kind of things, but everywhere that you find these things, there are things to be found, and they're really great. Like, they're not just like, hey, go collect 10 seeds and give them to that orc over there. This is, how do you handle this situation? You can ignore it, keep walking, on point, on quest, do your thing, or you can stop and rescue this kid who's trapped in the middle of a bridge that's beset by a gorge lined with archers on both sides, and what do? And it's like, maybe I rescue the kid?
Ghosts.
I'm probably gonna rescue the kid. So I rescued the kid. And just so many little bits of breadcrumbs lead you to some really, really interesting choices. And some of these people that you meet, I don't want to spoil anything. It's so good. Go
Yeah.
play it.
Is it a PS4 exclusive?
It is. It is a PlayStation exclusive. I bought it day one. Last copy they had at the Target in the town where I worked. As soon as I got off work, clocked out, went to Target, grabbed it, got the last one.
Lovely.
If it was only for PC.
My nominee for Best Narrative is I cheated a little bit on this because this game released at the end of 2019,
Why did?
but it was after all the game awards were already over.
Hey Rick,
And-
this is
Okay.
this is the 2020 Stack Awards. Everything is made up and the points don't matter. So
My nominee is Jedi Fallen Order.
All right, I'll give you that one.
I really have enjoyed the story.
Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah, I the narrative of this game is the best part in my opinion. The gameplay is great, but I actually turned it down to easy because I was far more interested in just rolling through the story and seeing where these mysteries went and just living in this Star Wars world and
Okay.
and meeting all these characters. It was lovely. So that is my nominee. And Liz, you're here as a bit of an arbiter of things.
Yes.
So what's your
Because
take?
I do not play. Yeah, I do not play very many new games, but I want to hear what you guys are saying. And I have decided in the past 30 seconds that I'm going to pick a winner out of every single round to see how well you guys described your game. And I will say that, Shalene, you cheated, okay? Tim,
That's fair.
Okay.
are you serious? Between walking nowhere and saving a child, you debated and then finally picked the child.
You
Seriously?
don't know what the quest I had was, though. It was very pressing. These are the choices that
You
you're
just
faced
upped
with a
the
lot of the time.
stakes.
I
know.
know. Like, she's coming at this from an angle I didn't expect.
Like I thought
And-
this was a bloodbath already, but I mean,
Rick, that was the most predictable shit I've ever. I don't even know because I didn't play these games.
Hey.
So I can't
there goes
even-
our PG
but, Oh my
tag.
god! Yeah, I'm so sorry. Vendor wins because of the chicken and the I only played 30 minutes. I can't believe he made that argument. Like that.
Honestly,
that was
you
bold.
guys.
That was a choice.
Honestly, you guys need to play it. It's amazing. It is the best video game narrative. He's like, here, you need to go do this thing because it's pointless, and the developers just put it in the game. It's just like so good.
If you eat the chicken, does that make you part immortal? If a chicken is, Or is it still alive?
I don't
don't
know.
know.
Hold on. This is like a breaking fourth wall. Like, we put
Yes.
this in as padding, and
Yes.
we noticed. Did you?
It's like it's
really?
Yeah, and then you make a thing, and the
Brilliant.
the narrator's like, "Good job, you made a thing that you don't know what it does, and it doesn't matter because it doesn't do anything anyways." And you're like, "What? What is happening right now?"
Like, self-aware games are something I'm not ready for.
It's so
Oh,
good.
it's so good.
It's so good.
That's your best narrative game? Like, that's okay.
Yeah, that
I'm with it.
that is.
with
I
it.
mean, I did
No,
did have
get it.
Red
If
Dead.
the narrative is directly messing with you, the player. You're cutting out all of the blocks in between. Like,
It's
what are you gonna
it's
do?
next level
I'm here.
comedy. Next level
Yes.
comedy. Yeah. What did we have last year, Shalene?
Okay. Last year's best narrative was A Plague Tale: Innocence.
Oh.
And I really like the idea of having Liz choose our winners. So the 2020 Stack Award for Best Narrative goes to Breath Edge.
Nice.
Congratulations, Breath Edge.
Wow.
Your Stack Award will be mailed to you by
I
one of our
forgot
support
to-
staff later on this week. So
Yes.
Forgot to see about 3D printing these awards. That'd be expensive. But
Oh, it would be so good.
no,
It would be
just
so
tiny
good.
ones, just little
Oh,
little
just
Little bitty,
tiny
little bitty trophies.
Did you know I can actually
Make it
do
like
that?
a
That's-
keychain.
yeah, I have a 3D printer at the house. And,
Oh, you have a 3D
Can we-
printer,
can we
'cause I was like,
please
I work
do
in a
that?
print place.
and we'll draft a letter and we'll sign it and it'll be all official.
Yes.
Yes.
This is the year we're going to actually do this. We
2021.
always talk
Some
about it.
mentions are made.
This is the year we're going to actually do it.
Quite
All
right.
right, we will. All right.
Our next category is Best Art. So this can mean a lot of different things. I feel like this one is particularly, subjective. But I'm definitely looking forward to hearing what everybody has. If we're going to see pixel art, if we're going to see, why are you laughing at me, Rick? Why are you laughing?
Bender's flute magically refilled himself.
Oh, did it? Oh,
Look at the top.
that's fantastic. It's a magical flute. It's
Remember,
lovely.
Sorry.
remember that time I went off screen with an empty glass and I
Yes,
came
and
back
you
with
came back with a full one. So good. Oh, I
Anyways,
love visual
okay.
gags on
Okay.
audio podcasts.
best art.
Best art vendor. What is your nominee?
This was a tough one. And I honestly, it's really challenging because I have Sea of Thieves down here, and it's because of the new content that they put into the game, and the new stuff that they've added that I think is just so fantastically done. Like the ghost ships, is just amazing. But I don't know if I can really keep this on the category of best art.
Liz will decide.
If I had to choose,
Well, actually,
it would probably be Red Dead. But again, it's not a game that came out this year, so
I mean, vendor, we were supposed to make these decisions before we came on the show.
I did.
Here.
Look, I've got it all written
You had
down.
homework.
disqualified.
Anyways, Sea of Thieves, because of the new
I'm telling
DLC
you,
that they put out.
I actually did homework.
If
You
you've
didn't.
seen the ghost ships, it's amazing. The
Mine was-
theatrics.
Sea of Thieves because theatric ghost ships. Thank you, vendor. Rick, what is your nominee for the 2020 Stack Award for Best Art?
This one I had to Google for because I didn't play any game that I felt qualified, and the only game that came out that I'm aware of this year that would, Ghost of Tsushima just has one of the most gorgeous looks to it. So yeah, that would be the one I picked for best art. I don't know a lot of indie games. I'm sure there's some beautiful indie games. I just don't know them. So
Interesting. And Tim, what
Which
was
one
your
was that
pick?
again? I roboted.
Ghost of Tsushima has the best art because that game just looks so damn good.
It is a visual masterpiece.
Okay.
It is. I feel that I do, Rick. Yeah, Ghost is visually a stunning thing on an 80-inch on a wall, and you're just like sitting there with the controller, like, and just staring into this vast. It's amazing. Okay,
Some of the images I've seen with like the leaves flowing past you while you're standing in like a meadow, it's just like this is beautiful.
wind is a big deal in that game.
Yeah.
It's a device. It's a game device. It's a thing in that game.
Makes it look
So
epic.
Is it my turn? I got
Yes.
so for best art, Shailene, you'll appreciate this. Ori.
Oh,
Ori.
oh,
It has to be
Ah.
Ori for me. You guys know I love my action platformers. I do Metroidvania streams all the time. Almost. And
I was gonna say that
Ori
was a good
got me.
catch.
I have a post-it right here on the corner of my monitor. I'm not even kidding. But Ori got me in a way that I wasn't ready for.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of great platformers out there. I tell you this, Ori is top tier. If you
that
haven't
is a
played it,
good
play it.
decision. That is a
Yeah.
very good decision.
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought you'd appreciate that.
For sure. I went a slightly different track than you guys did. My nominee is a game called Roki, which is an indie adventure game, side-scrolling adventure game, and it has a very folksy art style. Um, Roki is a game that is based in Nordic mythology, but it's done in a much gentler way than we usually see that. You know, we're used to seeing this kind of these mythical creatures popping up in stuff like The Witcher and God of War and just brutal, horrible things. But it's much more whimsical in Roki, and the art style of this game is something that sets the tone in a way that I find really pleasant. It's definitely a worthwhile story. It was another contender for narrative for me. But yeah, Roki was great, and it had lovely
Adds
art,
to
and you should check
wish
it out.
list.
Okay, so we've got a nominee from the crowd as well. Brock mentions World of Warcraft Shadowlands because of the intro to the Night Fae Covenant. So I've heard that World of Warcraft has gotten much prettier. I haven't played it since.
Has. I've
It's
been
Owen
watching
Wilson's
some
favorite
streams.
game.
Yeah.
Some friends of mine have been teasing me to come back and play it. I'm like, no, please no. But then I go watch their streams. I'm like, oh no, oh no.
So Liz, what do you say?
Okay, well, half the time I heard roboting, but we got that fixed. And I was actually trying to look up the games because as an artist, who does this for a living, I'm like, well, I'm gonna judge based on what's going on. Half the crap that you mentioned, I did not know how to spell, so it took me a while. But, so that goes for everyone. I'm just all around. But
Yeah.
I'm getting Roki is Roki.
Yes.
Is that it?
Mhm.
I'm just saying that's my opinion. I just love it's a choice, and don't let me go into my artist thing, but yeah,
It is very pretty.
Isn't it charming?
It is.
yeah.
Oh wow.
It's different, and it's very cute, and I think it's on Switch. So I'm like, well, I have a Switch.
It
Yeah, it
reminds
is on Switch. Yeah.
it reminds me of the art style from Castle Crashers a little bit.
I got more of a Wind Waker vibe.
That
Yeah.
too. It's like an
Yeah.
amalgam of those.
And
Sort
I'm
of a-
okay
sort
with
of a-
Wind Waker vibes. I know a lot of people hate that stuff,
I never played that game.
Oh, it's good. It's
but I
really
was
good.
into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give it an hour. Then tell me what you think. It's a great game.
Yeah. Well, that does it then. Liz is the arbiter, and Roki is our 2020 Stack Award for Best Art. Our next category is Best Soundtrack. And Vendor, what's your nominee?
Cyberpunk.
Ooh.
Yep. And
Answered that real fast.
yes,
Yeah.
it is the synthwave. Rick can comment more on this because he's actually played it, and I mean it might even be his nomination as well. But I've been listening to the Cyberpunk soundtrack, and it's really good. If you don't like synthwave, then it may not be for you. But I think that they've done a really great job designing the soundtrack for that game.
Nice. Very nice. Rick, what is your nominee?
So this one was a real tough one because 2020 was 30 years long, and I had forgotten that Hunt actually came out this year. And Hunt's soundtrack is really, really creepy and good. The problem is, and the reason it's not my nomination is because highly repetitive. My nomination is in fact Cyberpunk because of just the sheer number of tracks and songs, anything from like brash noise pop to like thrash metal. Like Converge did a track for this with Shattered Void, and
Nice.
also Grimes was on there. Freaking Run the Jewels as well. Like, it's just so. And then there's like a ton of stuff that's unlisted. There's 4 volumes of the soundtrack out now, and if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty certain that all of the music was original for the radio station in this game. I may be wrong on that, but most of it was original. So like the amount of production time that went into the soundscapes as well as the radio of this game is just stupid insane. And I'm trying to think of the one song that I love on. I'm trying to think of that one song that I just absolutely love on this game. I wish I could remember it, but yeah, they're all on Spotify right now. I think all 3 volumes. I don't know if volume 4 is up. And I did hear tell that they're putting out a vinyl release.
Really?
So I'm gonna have to keep my eye out.
I mean,
for
of
that.
course they would.
That's gonna be expensive. That's for sure. So Cyberpunk 2077.
Lovely. And Tim, what's your nominee?
Doom. It's Doom. It's definitely Doom.
Oh my god, that's the most predictable
Yes.
thing I've ever heard in my life. Oh my god.
I don't care. I don't care. I love the soundtrack to that game. I have to be careful. If it comes on in the car, I might have a problem.
That
sorry.
is so funny.
So what is it about the soundtrack that you like so much?
Okay, so the soundtrack for Doom is a very mercurial thing. It's got a lot of levels to it based on the intensity of the situation
Levels.
you're in.
Levels, Jerry.
Yes, lots of levels. There's a lot of levels to this hellish onion that is Doom Eternal. When the action ramps up, there's things that are added into the melodies that are coming through your ears. And the melodies typically come in the form of big 7-string Ibanez thrashy guitars in uneven time signatures at decibel levels that'll probably cause irreparable damage. And every time it comes on, I want to weep because it's beautiful and I just want to keep playing Doom. It's so good. I'm on my 4th run through and I don't typically finish games. I have a problem.
Did Animals
Wait.
as Leaders do that soundtrack or something?
No, but that's another great band, by the way.
It is, yeah.
Did you? Okay. So just okay. Yes. Yeah.
I love it. Sorry, I love it when people in the chat are like, "Vinyl's making a comeback," and it's like, yeah, it has been for the last 10 years.
It really has.
To be fair, for somebody like me, that is information. I mean, I knew it a little bit, but
It's outsold CDs at this point, so
well, I think
That's interesting. Well, yeah, that makes sense.
it makes
Yeah.
a lot of sense.
yeah,
Why?
it's definitely
Yeah.
outsold CDs. I have a giant collection sitting in my living room, so it's
My nominee for best soundtrack is Cyberpunk 2077.
Oh
For the
boy.
sheer variety of songs on the radio. And a lot of it's not my taste, but I love that there is that much to choose from.
Mhm.
So it's they did a good job. They did good work with the soundtrack. We also have a nomination from the chat. Tone Crusher suggests Tony Hawk Remastered. So,
that is a good soundtrack. It's very classic.
Solid.
Well, yeah.
Good choice.
mhm. Okay,
Okay.
Liz, what's your take?
Oh my god. Okay. I know Cyberpunk. I've heard of the Cyberpunk soundtrack. I've heard it's good. But I also heard the word synth music in there, and I've heard the word vinyl brought up. You know what, Rick? You almost sold me. You almost, because
Hey,
I,
well,
I actually
technically-
wrote he wins. And then I crossed it out and said almost. You lost me with the vinyl.
Technically, it hasn't come out yet, so it's all digital release on Spotify.
Yeah, but vinyl isn't
Amazon.
isn't what makes the soundtrack.
No. What makes the
I
soundtrack
know.
is like I'm looking at the full. Somebody actually went and pulled the soundtrack from the credits, and there's 157 different original tracks
Wow.
for the
That
radio.
is amazing. And
That's
that was
incredible.
cool about the all. How
And
they are original.
Well,
That's
and a
amazing.
lot of it is instrumental too, which is really nice because it's nice to work to. I typically don't like to listen to music that is like has vocals when I'm working. So I've really sort of found myself in the cyberpunk soundtrack, and yeah.
Guys, the jazz station has Bitches Brew from Miles Davis on it and John Coltrane.
Yes.
I mean, it's got to win.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you guys didn't cry like Tim did when he was describing Doom.
You just mentioned Doom and he weeps.
Did you? Okay. I love that soundtrack. I really do. I just, you guys hear a lot of noise and maybe some thrashy stuff that your parents warned you about. And you know what I hear? I hear intricate songwriting, but
And
coming at
angels.
me really fast. I like it.
All speed metal is just classical music amplified with guitars.
It's true. It's true.
Tim's version of heaven is going to be Doom.
That is so
It's going to
funny.
be hell on earth.
It's going to be
on
hell.
Earth is Tim's version of heaven.
And he's like,
I mean,
it's perfect. Ugh.
Have you ever seen him play? It's amazing. I've never. No, but seriously, I mean, if you want to
got
like go
tears
winner, I
running
would
down his
say
face.
It's so
Cyberpunk.
beautiful.
But he
The
was. I
grenades.
say his argument was the best. He was crying.
We'll
I
call
guess
it a
I'll call-
tie.
Win.
We'll
But
call it a draw.
I will give merit to Tim for crying on a stream.
Okay, I'll take an honorable mention. How's that?
Honorable mention. Those were the words that I couldn't find. Yes.
Lovely. So the 2020 Stack Award for Best Soundtrack goes to Cyberpunk 2077 with an honorable mention to Doom Eternal.
It was passionate.
Congratulations, your awards will be in the mail. The Cyberpunk one will be this big and the Doom one will be this big.
I'm so glad I was looking away when you did that.
What are you showing us?
Oh, I just because we were talking
No,
about the
Tim.
tiny
Tim.
awards.
No,
Oh,
I know that. Tim was
Yeah.
doing a thing.
Tiny
Lovely.
awards. Okay.
Tiny awards. So our next category is best audio. Audio, of course, is so important to a game in
Mhm.
terms of helping you get entranced in that world. And there are so many different things that can make audio work.
Mhm.
That's something that we talk about a lot on Gamestack is how important audio is to a game. Vendor, what is your nominee for best audio?
Yeah, so my nomination for best audio is Microsoft Flight Simulator. And it might seem weird because it's a simulation game and you're thinking it's kind of all the same audio. Like, it's what do you mean? There's nothing really special about it. It's actually incredibly, incredibly intense. Every single plane is designed and has its own audio so that when you fly that plane, it sounds exactly like it would sound in real life. And the only way that they have been able to do that is to be able to get into a plane and set up microphones in different parts of the plane to record the audio in actual flight.
That's incredible.
Yes, and the devs for Microsoft Flight Sim talked about this at great length in some of their PR interviews, and they were saying how like they had to tape and set up certain mics throughout different locations in the 737 and the 787. 10 Dreamliner, which is the biggest commercial airplane in the world, all of the Cessnas, and there's like 40 some different planes in this game. So the amount of work that they have had to put in for just the planes alone, inside and outside, has been crazy. And like
Audiophiles heaven.
all of the switches in the cockpit and the
Oh, sorry.
buttons and like all the sounds that like when you push a button and it's supposed to make like this sound, it like that, it does that. And it's like, it sounds like it's at the back of the plane because that's where it's supposed to happen. So it's really incredibly immersive. And I can actually determine how a plane is going to land just by listening to it as I'm on the approach.
That is
So,
cool.
so if there's too much power going to the engines, I can tell just by listening. So they've done an incredible amount of work to get that granularity within the audio. And that's
Just
that.
like driving a clutch.
And it's just,
can hear
it
it.
doesn't stop there, right? So they have audio in the environment as well. So they've got wind, all of the weather. They now have winter in the sim, so they've had to bring in the audio for that. Traffic audio, wildlife, storms, hurricanes. They've it's all there, and they've done a fantastic job. So that's my nomination. Well done. And even if it isn't the one that we choose this evening, I do want to say well done to the team at Microsoft.
Lovely.
I
Thank
have
you,
a
Bender.
question. You named some passenger flights on that. Did they have passenger sounds like people yelling at each other and stuff in the back too?
No, yeah. So
That'd
some
be
of the
amazing.
other
Crying babies.
some of the other flight sims.
Yeah.
All right, we're taking over now. Oh wait, what?
Yeah, some of the
Yeah.
some of
Air
the
Marshal.
some can I talk now? Some of the other flight sims like X-Plane 11 actually do have the sounds of people boarding and like closing the overhead bins and
Huh.
people talking and stuff. They haven't incorporated that into Microsoft Flight Sim yet, but it's
Okay.
something they're working on.
Rick, what's your nominee?
Hunt is my nominee for best audio because the game focuses so much on where people are, different sounds. You know, if you walk across broken glasses, you're sneaking. So, like, for those of you who just do quick overview on Hunt, it's PvE and PvP. A bunch of bounty hunters load in on a map. You're fighting, you know, each other as well as zombies and stuff inside the map. So, if you're sneaking up and you don't know if people are around, if you step on glass, it'll crunch and you can hear it. If you set off crows, they fly off in a direction you can hear them from, you know, far away. One of the things that really stands out in this game is they really got the stereo panning correctly. Like, it's the only game that I can think of where if I hear something on the right, I'm certain it's on the right. Some other times, some games have that issue where it's like it comes from the right, but it may not be all the way on the right. It could be weird, but the gun
Hey, this
sound.
is the one made by the guys that made Crysis, right?
Yeah, it's on the Cry engine, and so they even tell you wear headphones for this game. So the guns are, you know, old 1800s weapons. They sound just poofy and bangy. They're not, you know, it's not like a crack or there's no silent. Well, there's a couple silenced weapons, but they're still fairly loud. You know, you can hear gunshots from across the map. That's how loud these guns are. So they give away your position, and you can tell, you know, right where it doesn't matter where you are on the map. You fire, I'm like, he's north. You know, it's just that's how good the direction is in the sound. The other crazy thing is the way that the cues work when you're looking for the big bad bounty. If you pull up your like little if you hit E, you can pull up a certain vision, and if you're in front of the building where the big bad is, you can hear it whispering like, and depending on if other bounty hunters are around, it starts getting angrier whispering, and that it's just like it's real cool to like pull it up and you're like, oh man, that thing is in there. And then depending on the bad guy, so one is a spider that's made out of human parts. And so as it runs across the walls, you can hear it like, and like it sounds like kind of like feet hitting walls. And
That enemy is just as bad as you're picturing.
yes,
By the way.
there's a human head
Sounds
in it.
terrifying.
The butcher, which is like this giant like bipedal pig-headed thing, will like squeal when it's on fire, like a demented demonic pig, and it's just it's so great.
Yeah,
so the audio in that game is just
by the
so
way,
immersive.
by the way that you have described the insects in that game.
Oh yeah, the cockroaches and the assassin, they all sound like skittery insects. Yeah.
Well, I was hungry. That's gone.
Yeah, who needs to eat?
It's a really good game for audio.
Just play Hunt Showdown if you want to diet.
Pretty much. So yeah.
Thank you, Rick. Tim, what had the best audio of 2020?
Well, you heard me lament ad nauseum about Doom Eternal, and you probably would think I'm going to say Doom Eternal, but it is not, in fact, Doom Eternal. For 2020, I'm giving best audio to Ghost of Tsushima for all of the same reasons that Rick just went on about. If you hear a bowstring from 7 o'clock, you know to get behind something really fast. You know what I'm saying? Get some headphones on. Go out in the forest, go looking for the thing that you need, and find somebody that doesn't want you there because they're trying to annihilate your entire race. Well, yeah, for best audio, man, Listening to the way the winds move as you ride your horse through Japan, I just can't even put into words what it feels like to play that game in headphones.
Okay.
Gosh, I feel like I need to buy this game.
I know.
I was gonna say there's something about a game that makes you feel I feel like a good game can be measured by if it makes you feel the breezes.
Mm-hmm.
If a game makes you feel like you can feel the breeze, then it's a pretty damn
Yeah,
good
if you
game. Like I remember Oblivion
experience
was like that
the-
for me.
Phenomenon
same.
of
Yeah.
Same.
Breath of the Wild is like that.
Breath
You
of the
almost-
Wild is absolutely like
Yeah.
that.
Same. Yeah, this is another one just like that. It's a huge world to get lost in. It's another kind of choose your own adventure open world kind of thing. And listening to that world, go up on top of a mountain peak and listen to the winds, hear the rocks crumble as you're, in uneven terrain. It's amazing.
Lovely. Thank you. My nominee for Best Audio is also Hunt Showdown. Rick described it pretty well. I will add my own perception. Of course, I don't appreciate audio on the level that Rick does because audio is kind of his thing. But for me, the audio was the thing that made Hunt scary. The hiding and realizing the sounds that it made as I crept across broken glass, turning on an old Victrola and hearing it play
I
and
forgot
realizing
about
that I
yeah.
had done a dumb thing.
Yeah, or the piano. And you're like,
Yes, the sounds of the glass breaking when you leap through a window, or if you're hiding and you hear that glass break sound and you know, like, oh gosh, I'm not alone. I really found the sounds of this game immersive and compelling. So that's why I nominate Hunt Showdown. Yeah. So, Liz, what do you think?
Oh my God. You know what? You guys, that actually was really hard. But the way Shailene has got to take it and with Hunt because of it made that game, to me, it sounded like it made that game, period. Because of the sound. But I didn't want to choose it because you mentioned cockroaches and all that crap. And I was like, why would you want that if it's well done? And then I'm like, Flight Simulator sounds amazing because that is very intricate. And then, of course, Tim's just poetic, but that's Tim. So
He's taking notes.
I am altering notes.
oh, cater to Liz. No. He already knew that. No, but no, Shailene really hold up that one. Yeah, that sounds really creepy. I would never play it ever.
It was scary. I would hide behind the team a lot.
I got scared when I was playing Harry Potter, and I was trying to sneak around with the prefects. Like that's how scared I get during games. So I can't imagine with oh my God, the glass broke. Somebody's near me. Oh my God.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I'm a chicken with scary things
Oh
too.
my gosh.
Yeah. Okay,
Jeez.
so our 2020 Stack Award for Best Audio goes to Hunt Showdown. Your trophy will be in the mail soon. Our next category is Best Acting. That's pretty self-explanatory. Which game has the best performance, be it vocal or motion capture or whatever metric you want to use to measure it by? Fender, what's your nominee?
This was really difficult because most of the games that I've played this year, they haven't really had strong elements of acting, and I haven't actually really watched anybody else play any games that have strong elements of acting, other than Cyberpunk 2077, which was, I didn't watch enough of it to really have an impression. So I defaulted to what was chosen this year at the Game Awards, and I did a little bit of research and I looked at The Last of Us Part 2, and they selected Laura Bailey as Abby, and filling that role as Abby in The Last of Us Part 2, and so I watched a little bit of that on YouTube, and yeah, that is definitely my choice. The acting in that is very good. I was really impressed. It was a toss-up between her and the other one, Ashley Johnson, who plays as Ellie in The Last of Us Part 2. But, yeah, Laura Bailey. And I don't know. I can't really.
It's a good choice.
It's yeah. I mean, if you've seen Laura Bailey and other things,
Yeah.
she's an amazing actress. And just the graphics alone and how they were able to capture her facial features really sort of put the video to the words that she was saying. So, or the graphics
That's
to the
a
words.
really good choice. I went pretty close to choosing Last of Us 2 as well. Rick, what is your nominee?
Last of Us 2 as well. Again, I didn't play any new games that had incredible acting or visuals or anything like that. You know, Hunt's not known for its mocap, and Cyberpunk does have very good facial animations. They did a great job with their character modeling, but it's just not. The characters are very, you know, kitschy. They're very stereotypical. I don't know if that's the right word. It's not the word. Campy. That's the word. The characters are campy. Yeah, it would have to go with Last of Us 2 because that is basically a cinematic game.
Yeah.
Lovely. And Tim, what's your nominee?
Almost went with Last of Us 2. I watched a lot of streams for that one. That one was engaging enough that I forgot I was folding laundry and was just watching somebody
It's like a
else
soap
play
opera.
a video game on the internet. It was that good. I went instead with Daisuke Tsuji as Jin Sakai again for Ghost of Tsushima. Much like Vendor was saying, the graphics are getting to a point you can catch subtle nuances in facial expressions.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not a new thing. We've been seeing this since LA Noire and before, but
we're going to start to see it more now with Unreal Engine 5.
Yeah.
And
I say welcome it. The fact that you could see the quivering lip of a stoic samurai during a funeral and then have him have to tell his kin what is going on, and you're sitting there like trying to remember to breathe and not crush the controller in your hand from the anxiety that you're like, oh, that sucks, and you really empathize for these people as the portrayals of the story through these people in this digital medium. It just drags you in so hard, and I definitely give my best acting trophy to Jin Sakai, the character voiced by Daisuke Tsuji, and I hope I got that right. I practiced.
You sounded like you did.
Can I change my nominee to Tim for this one?
Yes,
Right?
thank you. No, by far, hands down, winner. Next. Winner. Winner.
Oh, I meant
Okay.
just Tim himself, not the game.
Tim himself.
Yes, that's what I meant.
Okay.
I have said this for a long time. Go watch his streams. Okay, anyway. Sorry.
He is
Thank you.
brilliant. He is brilliant.
really
That's
good.
why we invited him. My nominee is Jedi Fallen Order, specifically Cameron Monaghan as Cal Kestis. I thought this kid did a great job at convincing me that there was that this anxiety was there, these conflicts were there. I really enjoyed his performance. So Cameron Monaghan as Cal Kestis in Jedi Fallen Order. And I believe Liz may already have chosen a winner.
Yeah, it's Tim.
Tim.
I was gonna be
it's
be
Tim.
stupid. Yeah, and stupid and say like, no, it's the Pikmin from Pikmin 3 because they all went "Ba-dow!" and I really believed it. But no, but the Last of Us 2. I mean, that should win by default because it had the most votes. But Tim.
Such a heavy game.
What were our last year's choices? We keep missing out on
last
those.
year's choices. Best art was The Outer Worlds. Best
Yes.
soundtrack was Metro Exodus. Best audio was also Metro Exodus. And
Damn, that
best
was good.
acting went to Mads Mikkelsen from Death Stranding.
Oh yes,
Those Metro
Death
games
Stranding.
are dope, you guys.
Dude,
Play those
Exodus.
if you haven't. Those games are great.
Exodus is
Feels
amazing.
like a Metroid to me.
Huh?
I said it feels kind of like Metroid to me.
Really? Wait, Metroid?
Well, I mean, old school, kind of just stuck down in some dark tunnels with a bunch of really just off the wall stuff happening. Man,
Gotcha. Yeah,
It is
I
to
played all three of them. They're fantastic games.
Shalene, what was your choice for this year?
Mine was Cameron Monaghan as Cal Kestis from Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah.
So our winner is sort of The Last of Us Part 2,
It's the Last
but
of Us.
really it's Tim.
Yeah.
So Next category is best shooter.
You
Could this
love
be
me.
my trophy?
You really love me. Dun, 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 dun.
Vendertron, what was your best shooter for 2020?
This is really tough because you guys know me in shooter games.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
You're incredible at them.
Yeah, you're incredible at them, but you don't play them.
I don't really care for them.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I can't really think of a game that was a shooter game this year that was this year that came out and that I've played or that I've watched people play. So I'm gonna default to Cyberpunk 2077. And that's really all that I can say about it because it's
Okay.
heavy shooter, but it looks really cool and there's all kinds of crazy stuff happening.
That's exactly what I would have said had.
Yeah, it might not. I'm throwing my nomination away, really, but I'm okay with that.
Your nomination is for Tim. Okay.
Rick, what's your
Actually,
nominee?
I should default and say the best shooter. My nomination for best shooter is
McGavin.
Shooter McGavin.
I knew you were gonna.
Yes!
Say
Oh my god. Oh my
I
god.
knew you were gonna
Okay,
say
he blew
that.
my mind. Okay.
Oh, that's
I love
funny.
you, Bender.
anyways, Rick, go ahead.
So good.
I love you, dude.
You know, Cyberpunk is like if you took Destiny 2's speed and then put Fallout 4's clunkiness on top of the shooting, and it's just it's like fast but it breaks. So no, it's not that. Best shooter for this year, in my opinion, is Hunt as well.
Ah, yes.
Because it's such a weird, like, so again, it's set in like the late 1800s, and they're like, well, here is a single shot rifle. Go have fun in PvP. So you or like here's a single action revolver where you have to pull the hammer back after every shot, and so you find yourself like in a firefight with other people, and you're like, boom.
Yes, it feels incredibly frantic, but like 4 shots are fired in a 60-second period.
You're just running around. You're like, with the Springfield, you're like, bang, run, run, run. Eject the shell, run, run, run. Put the shell in, run, run, run. Close the breach, run, run, run. Cock the hammer back, bang. It's like, it's this franticness, but you're so like fenced in by the technology of that era. And it changes too when you have fanning, where you can like do the classic cowboy thing where you pull the trigger and run your hand across the hammer, and then that gets to be really insane. And then they offset that with reloading, so they have like a chain pistol. It's a pistol that has like a belt fed cylinder, so you can fan that thing for 16 shots, like bang 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 bang, but then you have to eject each shell, put one in, move the cylinder, eject the shell. You're sitting there for a minute just reloading the stupid pistol. And I find that so refreshing from like the Call of Duty where it's just like quick reloads and all this stuff, or like Battlefield 1 even, where that was supposed to be World War 1, and that technology was slow firing weapons, but somehow everyone in the game still has machine guns. And so Hunt, because just it's such a different way to play a shooter game.
Lovely. And Tim, I can guess what your nominee is.
It will be no surprise to you. It is the game where shooting not only destroys everything that's trying to kill you, but the weapons assist with platforming. There's a chain attached to a shotgun that you can use to get over yourself to other people while wielding that shotgun. There's another weapon you can look down and fire, and if you're in midair, it'll give you a little bump, and it's not a
little
double jump.
Again?
It's not a double jump.
It's
But
a rocket
if you're
jump.
flying at an unlocked frame rate over a chasm that's being chased by a thing trying to eat you, and you need just that little boop to get to that ledge.
That's awesome.
Sorry.
Split-second timing.
Can't help myself.
It's Doom perfected. What
Lovely.
can I say?
I
Perfect.
do miss that old school frantic shooter like Quake or GoldenEye or those kind of games had, where you could use a rocket to jump higher,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Right.
They really went true to form with Doom 2016, and this jump from that to Eternal feels like Doom 1 to Doom 2 on ye old PC, and I love that. So, Doom Eternal.
Very nice. I considered nominating Hunt Showdown because that's really the only shooter that I played. But I feel like Hunt Showdown is really more of a horror, you know, experience than a shooter. I feel like I don't know. It's to me, it's not a true shooter.
The only mechanism in the game is shooting.
I understand that, but
Just you cannot play the game without firing a bullet. I'm just throwing that one out there.
I mean, you totally can because knives.
Ah.
And I feel like strategy and positioning and stealth, and I feel like all of those things are equally important.
I get what
I
you're
don't know. I understand why you nominated it. I considered also nominating it. But instead,
Now
my
I'm
nominee
curious.
is Doom Eternal. I don't like Doom. It's not for me. Yeah, but that gameplay is
Tim's
smooth as
Tim's
butter.
like, it's okay to be wrong.
That
Yeah.
game.
Hey,
Like,
different
I mean,
strokes for
it's
different
like
folks.
it's one too many pentagrams for me. It's just you can't do
They
it.
really lean into it almost on an ironic level. They're just at the point where it's almost too self-aware, but
Yeah,
they
it's
really,
it's
they
just
lean
enough
into
that it
it.
makes me a little uncomfortable. So.
Shalene's throwing holy water at her skull.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Your
I'm
Xbox
praying the
sparks.
rosary while I watch it on Steam. But I the gameplay for Doom Eternal, it's one of the best functioning games.
Dude, the 3D
ever.
puzzles are amazing.
It's so smooth. It's
Yeah.
so smooth. It's unbelievable how well that game runs and how well it does what it sets out to do. So
Yeah.
that's my nomination. So
Okay.
Liz, what do you say?
Well, by default, I mean, Doom Eternal got, 2 votes. But really, I mean, Vendertron made the best argument. Shooter games suck. And I'm just... Don't do guns, guys. Although, Rick, I do really like the idea of having the loading times, because I would be okay with guns if all guns today were like that. I would be okay with that.
So,
And
honorable mention goes to Shooter McGavin.
Oh, shoot. Well, he's kind of like of everything. He doesn't even need a nomination or anything.
Well, hold
He's-
on. There's a chat throws out Warframe there. That's a good one too. I don't know if y'all
Is
played
that
it. 2020?
2020?
Yeah, I
Well-
think so.
Was Hunt 2020?
Yeah, Hunt was
Hunt
2020.
was 2020.
I don't even know. It's all a blur. I
You know,
think
I was-
we're still
Well,
living in
2020
2020,
was like
but
14 years long.
Yeah.
So.
I'm just happy none of us defaulted to Call of Duty. I'm really
Ew.
I'm
pleased.
surprised. Well, I'm not surprised.
but
Yeah,
Call of
why?
Duty's great, but it's Call of Duty.
Call of Duty's
Right, I
great.
know. It's exactly what you'd expect. It's
But it-
nothing new.
Yeah.
But
50 years old.
It's not a shotgun with a chain on it, It's Call of Duty.
I feel like Hunt concedes gracefully to Doom just because you both are
I
correct. that
do
Doom
like-
it just runs
yeah.
so good.
I do like the
It works so
idea
well.
that Hunt has deliberately worked on the mechanics of loading and shooting
Yeah,
these
it's the handicap.
these antique rifles and things like that. So
It's brilliant.
mhm.
It's
And they got like the thing is too is like some of these guns you can't shoot them anymore because the cartridges really
Yeah.
don't exist.
yeah.
But they still have the reloading mechanisms correct on them, which is really cool.
Have you guys seen Jim Jeffries' thing on guns?
I was just about to say with the whole musket thing.
And he's like,
"What'd you call my
You're in
wife?"
deep shit now, buddy.
He's like,
I may have
Just
seen
wait till
that.
I
I'm
get
fine. Don't worry about it.
He's like, "Wait
I'm
till I get
over
this
it
thing
now. So
Oh
good.
man, that's
That's
so
what I
good.
thought of when
Yeah.
Liz
Mhm.
mentioned the reloading times as Jim Jeffrey.
Yeah.
That could
Call-
be where I got. If it was an old stand-up thing, that's probably where I heard of it. But no, I actually like that with that Hunt thing because you have one shot to, you got
Make it count.
Shot,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
And if you missed, you're like, I hope I can switch to my pistol in time.
yeah.
Or you hope
That's
the
kinda-
opposing party's a really bad shot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unless they have a shotgun, then you're just done.
I
Yeah.
really want to quote Hamilton right now because of
Especially
all
if
the
it has
shot
a
of
chain
Hillary
on it.
Clinton.
Well, actually, Tim, the shotguns in Hunt can have a axe blade attached to the butt stock, so when you melee, you
Nice.
melee with the axe blade. So
Also, you
I
can
approve.
chop your own leg off. Anyway.
if you're not careful.
So last year's winner was The Division 2. And this year's winner is Doom Eternal, the best shooter of 2020. Lovely.
Hard to beat Doom if you're talking about shooters. I'm serious.
I would agree. Yep,
Yes,
it is.
congratulations to Doom Eternal. I know that the devs are watching with tears in their eyes. as
Your
we
award
speak.
is in the mail.
So-
Don't worry. Yes.
Our next category is the best open world vendor. What is your nominee?
This is the category that I am the most excited to talk about.
Good.
So the best open world, and it's a no-brainer to me, and you might be like, huh? But the best open world nomination for the 2020 SAC Awards for me is Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Well deserved.
This the reason why is because for the first time ever, video game developers have been able to completely model to every detail our entire planet. Every city, every town, every road, every bridge, every mountain, every island, every single airport in the world, over 40,000 airports, all modeled. It's totally and exclusively open world. You can fly anywhere, and if you use their camera mode, you can jump anywhere you want and just go check it out. I flew and landed and checked out my house. I landed in the town where Shalene lives, and we have to go check out your house soon. I've checked out Area 51. It's all there. It's all there. And London looks exactly the way as I remember it, going to the Thames. Carlo and I, we hopped in a little Cessna one night on Microsoft Flight Sim, and we flew down the Thames, and it was just like bringing us back to when we were there, and we were having fish and chips on the canal, and it was just like the best vacation ever. So it was really great. And the other thing that I wanted to mention about it was that they used Bing Maps to do this. So it's just incredible the amount of data that you have to try to put that into a video game. That in and of itself is almost impossible to do, and they've done it, and it's incredible. So that's my nomination.
Lovely. That's really interesting that the nominee for best open world is the world. The
Yes.
actual open world.
Yeah.
I love that.
That was gonna be my comment. It's just
It's
like, wow.
super meta.
Rick, what's your nominee?
The only game that I played from 2020 that I can think of that has an open world is Cyberpunk 2077. And one thing that the game does get really right is the groundedness of Night City, where you could take a motorcycle out, and it's the only game, so Vendor, you play Flight Sims and like some of the other trucker sims and stuff.
I wish it was Flight Slim.
Yeah. It's the only game I've ever played where I just went driving. The last game that I did that in was Vice City, where you just drove for hours. And so I'll get on the motorcycle and I'll drive
Vice
out
City.
into the California Badlands. And you look back at Night City at night, and like there's neon, and there's these like hologram like sales boards just scrolling up into the night sky, and then what you think is a mountain is just giant trash piles because they don't have anywhere to put the trash. So there's like giant, big, huge trash piles in cars, and you're like, man, wait a minute, there's trash everywhere. Like you go out to the desert, there's just trash bags, and it's just like the accuracy and detail that they put into the game to make it feel futuristic and still really messed up. However, I don't think it should win because there's nothing to do. But it is my nomination for if a place to exist for like an hour or two of feeling like really grounded, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh wait, I can't really do anything in the world or interact with it. But it's still really cool.
Okay.
Lovely. Thanks, Rick. Sorry. Tim, what's your nominee?
I'm kind of torn on this one. I want to say Ghost of Tsushima. And I mean, officially, you can mark that one down as my vote. The world is amazing. It's fantastic to get lost into. I'm not exaggerating when I say 9 hours. But the last time I turned that game on, my butt didn't leave a couch except for the necessities for 9 hours. It was amazing. but that's not the one that I played the most, where I got the most out of an open world. And I'm sorry that I kind of have to do this, but I want to say everything Bender said about Microsoft Flight Simulator. I want to say Elite Dangerous. I spent so much time playing that game this year.
Is that is that a 2020
It's
game?
our galaxy. No, it's not.
Star
I can't
Citizen
officially...
is, though. Star Citizen
I don't
came
know
out in
about
2020,
that
didn't
one.
it?
Oh, Star Citizen's not out.
Oh,
No,
still an
Star
alpha, dude.
Citizen is
Oh.
never going to come out.
Oh, which maybe I'm thinking of Elite Dangerous.
Well, there's
It's very
a
open
bit
world.
they're about to come out with, but that's my honorable mention because that's where I spent the most time in an open world, other
Star
than
Citizen.
this.
What? I don't play the
four-wall
beta.
You know,
But
Tim,
What?
Ghosts.
Nothing.
Yeah, what?
I was gonna say, Tim, I wanted to say if that game came out in 2020, the audio in Elite Dangerous is awesome. The way that they make space sound, it's so cool. It's so cool.
All of
Quite
the
right.
ships that you fly have a signature sound to them.
So we chalk it down as Elite Dangerous.
Well, Ghost of
No.
Tsushima is my official because that is a fantastic open world. It came out this year. I can't say anything bad about it.
What is it that
other
makes
than
it a
I
good
might
open
get
world,
a
though?
cramp sitting too long. Oh my God, you didn't see any of my screenshots I posted, did you?
No.
Oh.
You guys have seen Breath of the Wild, and you know
Mhm.
the vibe of getting lost in that thing where a lot of random things could happen. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
There's a
right.
radiant kind of living, breathing thing. Tsushima does the same kind of thing. There's a bunch of little scripted scenarios that might not mean anything. There's some really heavy scripted scenarios that absolutely will mean something, and choose carefully when given an option. And then there's the world that's living and breathing in between. And it's all fun. 9 hours. I'm leg cramps. You know, I'm gonna die on a couch with a controller in my hand with the blood clot in my brain, like, oh, Tsushima. I mean, that game is great.
Wow,
It's
thank
such a
you.
great world.
Thank you for that
Dark, morbid. Sorry.
fine
Oh, geez.
analysis, Tim.
Yes. That brings us to our PSA of the evening. Stand up once an hour, walk around, do some stretches. Don't
Take
die.
a break. Yes.
Don't die.
Shalene, what is your nomination?
My nominee, okay, I'm probably going to get disqualified because this technically did not come out this year, but it has been heavily updated this year, and it's Don't Starve Together.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, Don't Starve Together it's brilliant. It's so good. And I love this kind of open world because there are absolutely very few rules, and it's just there's so much happening, and it's I can't say enough good things about this game.
Now I have played Don't Starve, and this is me asking about a game. How can you stand playing Don't Starve with somebody else without trying to kill them? I can't play a Lego game with like co-op without like. How do you play that game?
Well, I mean, there have been times, of course. No offense, Archon. I love you dearly. I have wanted to kill you, especially when you kept going after the moose goose the last time that we played.
Wait a minute, but what about that one time you kept chasing the friggin' two-legged eye chicken thing?
I'm sure he wanted to kill me then too.
Yeah.
And that's fair. Yeah.
Or the time that you shot me in the ass, but it hit my frying pan in PUBG. I'm just saying, Shane, before you dish it out.
PUBG. Wow.
It's
That one
fine.
came
It's
back up
fine.
from the crypt, hey?
I mean, I only hit you in the pan. Rick.
You were aiming for the crotch, I'm sure. But I'm sorry, Amy.
Yes, but Don't Starve Together. We're actually a pretty good team, and it's great because we divide the labor, you know, and he'll do some things and I'll do some things, and then we'll meet up back at the fireplace, and there's more progress. You know, it's pretty good. But that's my nomination. It's probably disqualified because it didn't technically come out this year.
Well, I mean,
Oh
it's
yeah.
fine.
Does this mean I can change my answer?
All right. So who
we
wins?
make our own rules here, Tim.
It's your house. Yeah.
I almost wanted to do yours, but it scares the shit.
It's okay.
Start
I'm still
stuff
going to
out of me.
highlight it
I'm so
anyways as the
sorry.
winner, so.
You know what? That's good. Go ahead and do it. But Tim was talking about an open world game, and I was like, "That's an open world game." Yours scares
Hey.
me, But that's
If you-
awesome what they did with it. That's really
the
cool.
world is so great. If you find a fox, follow it. I tell you what. The world
Tell
is
you
great.
what,
Did
man.
we just kick back to the '90s sitcom catchphrase? I tell you what.
Tell you what, man.
Tell you what.
They gonna find a fox. They gonna follow that thing, man.
God bless America.
Tell you what.
Okay, okay.
Oh
All right.
gosh. So what's our winner?
I don't know.
Ghost of Tsushima.
I would.
Ghost of
I would think
Sashimi,
so, but that, that
Ghost
flight
of
simulator
Tsushima.
sounds
I
good.
could go for some sashimi.
right?
Yeah.
That's good to
And-
me. Last
Yeah.
year's winner was Red Dead Redemption 2.
Well
And-
deserved.
Yes.
This
Yeah.
year's Stack Award goes to Ghost of Tsushima.
Microsoft Flight Simulator.
And honorable mention Microsoft
What?
Flight Simulator.
There's
You
an
know what?
echo.
You're the one that
Parallels.
does write
It's a duck
write it
in here
down.
somewhere.
Go for it.
Our next category is the best RPG, by which, of course, we mean role-playing game, not rocket-propelled grenade. Bender, what
Sorry,
is your
Rick.
nominee?
Shalene, why do you do this to me? Okay. So okay. This one's really strange. My nomination for best RPG is Among Us. And it's really weird because I wouldn't actually really classify it as a role-playing game. It's more of a strategy multiplayer sort of thing. But and like if we were to define what a role-playing game is, technically it's one in which players assume the role of a character in a fictional setting. Which I guess you could check that box off. And players, a game where players take responsibility for the roles that they play and create the narrative. Now, if you think about Among Us, and if you haven't played Among Us, there's 12 people maximum, 10 people maximum, and you're on a ship, and one person is the imposter, and they're the
Oh, I've
they're
heard
the
of that.
killer,
Okay.
and
And what a role to
everybody
play.
everybody else is just a little astronaut busy bee that has to run around and do their jobs. And every time somebody dies and somebody finds the body and reports it, you all go to the meeting room, and then everybody has to deliberate. And it becomes this role-playing game where the imposter tries to fool people and convince them that it's not him or her, and it can get really intense. Like you have to lie through your teeth, even if you're not the imposter. And so you play these roles, and it's really quite interesting. And it's definitely caught me off guard as a game that's really, really fun to play, because there's these dynamics about people that you have to learn about them as you play. And then there's this whole narrative that you create around yourself to try to get you out of these situations. And it just becomes this really intense sort of, that's my best RPG.
Oh wow.
Seeing a theme here where you like to break metas, Bender.
It's wonderful. I do actually consider it a role-playing game, because somebody is the killer, and then
They have to pretend they're not.
they
They're
have to
just
pretend that they're
literally
not.
playing a
And
role.
yeah,
So,
so
yeah. I see
That's
what
a
you did
very
there.
interesting choice. Very interesting choice. Rick, what's your nominee?
My nominee for the best RPG is the Rukhnoi Protivtankoi Grantmayat RPG 7 from Russia, which is an actual RPG. No, I'm kidding. That is literally the
I
famous.
see what you did there.
No, my nomination for this year is Wasteland 3. Solely based on the fact that your choices do matter, and you only get one level up before the first boss that I couldn't beat. So therefore, that qualifies it as a very difficult RPG. Because I couldn't beat
It's
it.
a steep arc.
It is a
Level
crazy
2,
arc.
have a boss.
Sullivan in the
Pretty much. With no cover. Like, there's no cover. You're bottlenecked right into his kill zone. They're like, have fun. I couldn't do it.
Tim, what's yours?
Well, this one comes with a bit of a disclaimer. I haven't
Uh-oh.
played it myself, but I've watched a bunch of streams. My vote this year for 2020 for best RPG goes to Yakuza Like a Dragon. They turned that game on its head, and it's amazing.
Did
It still
they not
looks and
win?
feels-
They won the Stack Award, or the Freudian slip. the Game Award, didn't they? For best RPG. I thought it was
memory
Yakuza.
serves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, I love turn-based RPGs. I love RPGs. I love RPGs with deep, dense systems and lots of toggleables and equipables and infinitude of options before you go even start
Infinitude.
your quest. You know, like give me all the things. I was a fan of Final Fantasy VIII. I know a lot of people didn't like all those systems. I was in heaven. Give me all the things. I love deep role-playing games, and I think Yakuza Like a Dragon's turn-based RPG was a very comfortable change for that series, and I really want to own that title.
I can't help but just keep thinking of Like a Virgin. I can't help it.
Why? What?
Like a dragon.
Oh,
Like a
okay,
virgin.
okay.
I just-
Scaled for the very first time. No, wait, that could be bad.
Yeah.
Moving on.
No, that's Doom. That's Doom, Tim.
My nominee is actually an early access game, so technically it's not out.
Oh,
What
I
is
got
it?
I know
So
what it
Among
is.
Us is 2018. Shalene's hasn't come out yet.
Yeah, but Among Us really only rose to the top until this past year. So.
My nominee is a game called The Waylanders.
Oh.
And this is a game that I cannot wait for them to finish. I played it for several hours. I decided to wait to play more until it's finished because I want this experience. The Waylanders is a party-based RPG with lots of conversation options and friendships, relationships, romance options. It's basically Dragon Age.
Yeah, made by the people who did Dragon Age or
Made by many developers.
Mass Effect, Pillars of Eternity.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It has to be the Waylanders for me. It's been a long time since I've had a BioWare RPG, and now I've got one in the form of the Waylanders. So that's my choice.
Okay, sounds lovely. Lovely.
Okay, so let
Sorry.
me get this straight. Two of you had non-starters because they weren't technically, actually, Rick, thank you for pointing out that Among Us was not this year.
Actually, that was our
Yeah,
in the
but
chat.
none
I
of
didn't
you
even know
knew that
either.
it was out.
No, we didn't.
Everybody
No, I
thought it
didn't.
came out this year.
As he nominated this game, Vendor is sus.
Because
Maybe
Vendor,
Guess
what?
I was
You
in
were gonna win.
I was in electrical. I was in electrical.
Who's winning?
Vendor was gonna win.
Well, I
He
mean,
had it. You know what? Because also that game is actually based on a parlor game from the 1800s. That's amazing that they made this
Isn't it
into a
great?
really game. Like, that's cool.
well,
Clue?
in my
No.
in my experience playing Among Us, it has revealed the intricacies of human behavior and how we react under pressure like that.
Wait a
I
minute.
In
love the way you
groups.
talk.
Game.
Among
and it
Us
was-
is just Clue.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Kind of, yeah.
Clue
It's
is
Sorta.
it's a
easy.
murder mystery. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we've also taken it to other
Anyway.
sorts, and we've played different roles. Like we've played tag instead. So the imposter has to sit in the lobby for 10 seconds while everybody else runs, and then the imposter's like, "I'm gonna get you. I'm coming.
Nice.
Where
Oh
are
my
you?"
God,
and
no,
you're like,
oh
"Ah,
my
ah, he's coming!" So
Actually, that sounds kind of
So-
fun.
So Liz,
It's
who's
super
the
fun.
official winner of this category?
Well, because two were disqualified. No. Oh God, who did I write down?
I would totally give it up for Waylanders. That's a very, very strong choice.
Well, if Tim's gonna give it up, then everybody.
Yeah.
Never mind. Sorry. Yeah, Waylanders, sure.
sure,
Let's go with
nominate the
All right,
other
there we go.
disqualified game. That's fine. It's fine.
that. No, wait.
I'm over it. It's fine.
See, I
Next.
have no idea what's
Next
going
category.
on right now.
I love those dense RPGs, though.
So
Although-
last
although-
year's winner was The Outer Worlds,
Oh.
and this year's the best RPG of 2020 is The Waylanders. So congratulations.
No, wait. Okay, vendor.
Well,
Oh, I
it's
have to
too
play
late
There's drama
now.
on the set.
No, I have a
Oh
question.
no.
Do you have to play with other people? Is there any kind of mode where you can play by yourself and try to figure things out? I guess they're not.
No, there isn't.
There
It's
wouldn't be.
multiplayer.
How
I mean,
would
you
you
can
not-
play a lobby by yourself, but what are you gonna do?
No, I'm just
Nothing.
asking you if I could figure it out first. I don't like jumping into games where I don't know what I'm doing with everybody else doing something. That's why I'm like, is there anything kind of training?
You can hop in with random people. And actually, that's
so
the
fun.
really fun thing, because when you do play with random people, you have to go in the chat and type. But when you play with people that you know, you're in a Discord call with 10 other people.
Oh, well, then
So
I
the
wanna do chat
dynamic
then.
of the
Okay.
conversation changes because you go from text to audio, and it's like, well, it wasn't me, and they're like, I could tell in your voice that you're lying. It's you. So yeah,
You do realize I'm downloading this game like now.
it's
Lovely.
like $4. So if you
Yeah,
don't have
exactly.
it, get it.
It's
Exactly.
cross-play too,
We
isn't
really
it?
do need to put together a squad to play this.
I think
Oh,
this
no, I
one's
don't wanna
You
play with
guys
other
would
people I
love it.
know.
I would love to play it with you. Anyways, let's
Yes,
move
I
on to
know
our
that
next
one.
category.
Turn it on the Switch and buy it right now. Okay.
Next category is Best Puzzles. Vendor, what is your nominee?
My nomination for best puzzle is The Gardens Between, and this game came out November 1st, 2020. And why is that funny?
Because I'm a male. Why do you think?
Oh, you're
Yeah.
sick.
Lady Garden is a Britishism that I love as a descriptor.
Well, The Gardens Between is not that.
Can't help it.
The game centers around.
See, even Tim, you're yelling at me, but look, even he's.
Tim is broken. We've lost Tim.
I tried not to.
It's just. What do you expect from me?
I expect nothing.
There we go.
Vendor, tell us about your game.
The Gardens
Tell us about
Between.
this garden.
It centers around a brother and sister who live next door to each other and become, two teenagers, a boy and a girl, who live next door to each other, and they become close friends since Arena, which is the girl, her family moved into the area. However, one rainy night, the two sneak out of the house to hide into their treehouse, which they built on a small garden square next to both houses. So that's sort of the backdrop. And then you have to do this sort of, it's kind of like Monument Valley, if you've played Monument Valley. It's like a 3D sort of type game, and you have to go through these puzzles and spin this world or this island around and sail between the islands. And the game is sort of a deconstruction of the different rooms in their house. So one will be the living room, another will be the kitchen, and there's all these different puzzles, and you have to figure it out. So, yeah, that's my nomination. Thanks,
Very cool.
sickos.
I've heard about that game. I really have. Rick, what's your nominee?
I don't have
Best
one.
puzzles.
I really don't have one.
You don't
Nothing?
deserve one.
No, I don't play puzzle games. I can't even think of one.
Okay. Tim, what is your nominee?
Okay, I played a lot of community-based games in this last year, as I bet many of us did. We're all trapped in the same four walls, and we're looking for ways to get out and hang out with people. One of those things I did to hang out with people is I played Phasmophobia. I would love to throw this in for that puzzle category.
Great
because
choice.
Trying to solve what kind of ghost you're looking for technically is the puzzle,
Mm-hmm.
but there's so many fun layers in between, and I screamed like a little girl at this game. I have no shame saying that. That game scared the ever-loving crap out of me, and I couldn't think of a better way to do it than hanging out with my friends, as Vendor said, in a Discord call, being like, dude, behind you, and they turn around and there's nothing there, and I'm like, it was there, and trying to figure out what kind of ghost it was, using this book to narrow down the kinds of clues that you found traversing these houses and buildings and schools.
That sounds really fun.
That sounds really good. Actually.
You guys think Among Us is a fun one to play with people? If you can handle some jump scares and some startles, and you're into, solving occulty kind of puzzles, Phasmophobia is definitely worth checking out.
I'm gonna have
This
to check
sounds
it out.
like it
'cause I
might be
love that
good for
stuff.
Survival Horror Sunday.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yes.
The last game I played with figuring out ghosts was Fatal Frame 2: Crimson Butterfly for the PlayStation 2.
Great
and
game.
Great
So
game. Good. I love ghosts.
Cool.
What about you, Shalene?
Okay, my nominee is Metamorphosis. And Metamorphosis is a game that is based on Franz Kafka's novel of the same name.
Oh.
Yes, you play as a young man who has been transformed into a cockroach. And you're trying to figure it out. You know, you want to transform back into your human self. Um, and of course, it does deviate from the novel in that you are a small cockroach in the game. In the novel, he
It's a big one,
retains
yeah.
his mass. He's a massive bug. But in this game, you are a bug-sized bug. But that makes for some very fun puzzles in terms of like, if you need to get somewhere, you have to find something sticky to put on your little feet so you can climb, and you
Don't
can.
you even. They're both
I'm muted.
they're both
so-
muted because it
Yes,
sounds
but
really
there's-
great.
Yeah, it's a great little game. There's all kinds of different things, different little puzzles that you can solve that are related to scale of different things. You know, there's one scene where you're inside a desk. You're inside, so you're trying to climb up a pencil and you know, knock over a book if you can, and just different kinds of things to achieve your goals. It's a really neat little game.
Cool. Liz, what is your choice for best
Actually,
puzzle?
I'm going to defer to Rick because I have a nomination, which is Pikmin 3. It's the only puzzle game that I've played. It's one of the 3, maybe, new games that I've played. Yeah, I like it. It's not as good as the other ones.
Solid entry.
But, yeah.
Pikmin's a great game. They cleaned that game a lot up
Yeah.
with this third entry.
And I will say that last boss fight is the hardest thing I've ever... Yeah, I felt like really incompetent because of that last boss fight. It's amazing. Okay. Anyway. So Rick, what do you?
Huh?
You get to do my
Oh,
job.
You
I
get
get
to
to-
pick since you didn't have a nominee.
Oh my God, the look of fear on his face is amazing.
Tim's, because the ghosts and the mysteries, and I love that sort of detective work.
High five.
And yeah, so I'm gonna go
Very
with that
nice. Very nice. So last year's winner for best puzzles was TikTok, A Tale for Two, and this year's winner is Phasmophobia. Our next category is best DLC or expansion vendor. What is your nominee?
My nomination for best DLC is ProMods Canada. And you're probably like, what is that?
What is that?
ProMods Canada. So ProMods is a third-party entity that builds downloadable content for Euro Truck Simulator and American Truck Simulator. Now, they've been working on this DLC for about 2 years now. And I've been super excited to play it because Canada, ProMods Canada. So they have modeled the BC interior, and it's been really exciting driving around BC and seeing what that looks like because I've driven through many of those parts, Rogers Pass, and a lot of the highways in that area. So it's been kind of neat. That's my choice.
Very nice. Rick, what's yours?
My nomination for best DLC or expansion is No Man's Sky, because this game is the game that just keeps on giving, and it's all free, and I don't know how in the world that place is still open, because these expansions are like, you want scary horror ships that you can explore? Boom, here you go. You want more expanded bases to build? Boom, here you go. You want more vehicles to find? Boom, here you go. Better planets, more stuff to, like, vehicles and stuff and weapons, boom, here you go. Like, it's just all free. They're always giving it to you, and it's just, I stop it, vendor. I realized what I said after I said it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know. Explain
Anywho's,
yourself.
yeah, No Man's Sky is is just there. It's just great. That game still holds up. It still plays very well. Looks good. And yeah, the only thing I want them to add, and if they're listening, I'm sure they are, is just I want the ability to like fly my ship and then walk around in it. I want to like get out of my seat and like walk around my ship.
That would be cool.
I
That
would
be
really love that.
Yeah, that'd be great.
So anyway, there you go.
Tim, tell me, what was the best DLC or expansion in 2020?
Okay. Well, full disclosure, Shailene and I, we had a bit of a conversation because I was having a hard time deciding this one. And initially, my thought was to defer to her for the Animal Crossing New Horizons Christmas expansion that fixed tons of bugs and gave you guys the ability to sit and all kinds of fun outfits and this and that and the other thing. But I'm going to take that back. I'm sorry, Shailene. I'm taking it back. I can't give you that. I can't
I
give you my
forgive you.
vote. I can't, because the Doom-Micorn Slayer skin.
Of course. Doom FTW, right?
Oh, he muted.
Oh.
We'll just let him talk that out.
This is hilarious.
It's fine. It's fine.
Can we talk for
I
him?
can't
Oh.
believe I did that. That was great. It was awesome. So, Shailene and we had this discussion, and I was going to give her my vote for this one for the Animal Crossing New Horizon Christmas update, which fixed a bunch of bugs and gave you guys the ability to sit in a bunch of fun outfits, but I have to take it. I can't give it to her. I can't give her my vote.
It's
because
okay, Tim, because I didn't nominate that one either.
The Doom-Micorn Slayer skin is a thing, and it was the most absurd thing I've seen since playing the cow level in Diablo 2, and it tickled the same funny bone, and I had a fantastic time with it, so that's mine.
Lovely. My nominee is actually Fallout 76 and Steel Dawn.
Huh.
I really enjoyed playing a traditional Fallout experience.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't a super long thing, but it felt very much like playing a traditional Fallout experience. So,
Nice.
Steel Dawn for me.
Wonderful. So, Liz, what is your choice for best DLC or expansion pack?
You're all incorrect, because the correct answer was Animal Crossing.
What was our choice last year?
Agree.
Last year's winner was Shadowkeep, which was Destiny 2, right?
Yeah, that was a
Yeah.
great. It's a great DLC.
Very cool.
Recently got hooked on that game pretty hard. Destiny 2 is
It's a
pretty
good one. That's
so good.
another game that
It's
has
so
really
good.
good combat in it, and it's consistent. So.
So the 2020 Stack Award for Best DLC or Expansion goes to Animal Crossing. Thank you, thank you for joining us.
Your award is in the mail.
Next category is the Best Independent Game. Vendor, what's your favorite indie of the year?
Best independent. Well, I don't know. I had Fall Guys down here, but that's not an.
That's indie.
It's
I
not.
think Fall Guys was indie.
Is it
It's
really? I
Yeah,
don't know.
it's indie.
Like it blew up.
It's indie.
but it didn't.
Yeah.
Like that was that it.
Fall
It
Guys.
might not
Have
have.
you guys played Fall Guys? Anybody here?
No, I was gonna say I have not played it, but I consider it indie because it's also my nomination.
Fall Guys is basically Mario Kart running. It's fantastic. The levels are so ridiculous. There's this one called Slime Climb where you basically there's this pool of slime that just continually raises up and you have to go through all of these traps. It's basically Wipeout but in video game form.
My head always went to Most Extreme Elimination Challenge.
Yes, or that
overdubbed
one.
Game. That was always
They
the
have
thing that
this
I went to
one.
with
I
it.
love it. It's called Fruit Shoot, and you have to run up these conveyor belts that are going in the opposite direction, and these giant watermelons and strawberries and bananas fall from the sky. So sometimes you get impaled by a banana.
I'm calling it a fruit shoot from now on.
Well,
I think he's doing this
Stick it
on
up your fruit
purpose.
shoot door.
That depends on. Anyways, okay. So Fall Guys, my choice. Rick, I believe that is also your nomination. So we're just gonna
is. So-
gloss
Do you have
right
anything
over
to
you.
add?
No, I've never
Okay.
played it. It's
Really?
the only one I know about.
Oh, you gotta
No,
play
I-
it. You gotta play it with 4 Mile and
Tim,
and
what
me.
was the best indie of the year?
God, you guys are impossible. Okay, I've got a similar asterisk as earlier for this one. I want to give this one to Hades. I feel like these guys have done roguelike right. I've been watching a lot of people play this game, and the only problem I'm having is,
it's
do I want
Hades.
to buy it on Steam or do I want to buy it on my Switch? Do I want to buy
Switch?
it on Steam or do I want to buy it on my Switch?
I
Well,
feel
the
like it
question
would be a
is,
good Switch game.
I feel like it would get a really good amount of mileage on my Switch, pick up, play, in between this and that, project or adulting I'm doing, and just get another run through of Hades and see some more story unfold. And the story hooks you in ways that make it okay for you to die, because it's going to happen. We all know. And then to do it again. because you know it's going to happen again, and to do it again, and it's going to happen again. But the story pulls you, and there's still stuff to see and find and do. And when you get new weapons, it's like, I'm going to do it again, because it's that good. And was it Supergiant, right? They made this one.
Yeah,
They
Supergiant.
did. They did Pyre, which was great. And they're in San Francisco. Bastion, Transistor, Pyre, Hades. I mean, these are all great titles. So I want to give it to Supergiant for that one. Hades does it right.
Lovely. My nominee is Roki, the same game that I nominated for Best Art. So I've already talked about that pretty extensively. It is astonishing how small of a team made this game. It was just a handful of people. And it works so well. Like it just works. So I've got to give it to Roki. It's very impressive for the small number of developers that made this game.
So Liz,
That's-
what's it gonna be?
Roki is 40% off on Steam or Twitch. Anyway,
Shopping, shopping.
Nice.
to be fair, I was just making sure
To be
Among
fair.
Us just finished downloaded. Okay, all right. Because you guys are basically. This is why I asked to do this. I want you to sell me on what you're.
Oh.
Get it? It's $4. It's $4.
It finished downloading.
It's
Okay,
amazing.
But
Lovely.
yeah, the other one is, and Hades was another one that yeah. But I mean, I heard banana and fruit shoot, and I was like, okay, that wins.
Fall Guys is so endearing. It's so cute. And it's like
Fall
there's
Guys?
so many outfits and little hats and stuff that you can wear, and it's adorable, and there's a unicorn with a tutu, and it's just like
Okay, well maybe I'll cross that off my list.
it's so
All right.
cute. They're
Well,
so
what
cute.
constitutes as indie? Because you guys, my connection was going when you guys were asking about it or talking about it. You're just saying a small team that is not like EA. I understand that. I mean,
Yeah.
but
Not
Yeah,
AAA.
Well,
Base-
so best indie defined by the Game Awards is the best indie for outstanding creative and technical achievement in a game made outside the traditional publisher system.
Mhm.
is there a
So-
qualification to be in the traditional publisher system?
Hey, you just wanna,
Basically,
like,
if
bigger
you're
to see.
backed by someone with a lot of money.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just
So
thought
these
it's a technical
so these
rule.
guys
Yeah.
are smaller developers, smaller studios, and Fall Guys. I mean, it blew all of the games out of the water in terms of revenue.
'Cause-
Hades was the game that was awarded for the Game Awards for this category.
Because like even technically Ori isn't indie anymore since it's backed by
Yeah,
Microsoft
Microsoft
money.
owns them now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair point.
Yes. So
So
What did we pick? Fall Guys?
Fall Guys.
yep.
So last year's winner for Best Indie was Outer Wilds, and this year's winner is Fall Guys. I know they're going to be absolutely thrilled to get their trophy in the
actually,
mail.
of all the companies, they're probably the ones that'll be like, "Oh, this is cool."
Oh. Oh.
I love it.
Yeah.
Our
That's cute.
next category is Best Multiplayer. Vendor, what was your favorite multiplayer of 2020?
Probably Fall Guys. Yeah.
Fall
Yeah,
Guys?
probably Fall
Good
Guys.
choice.
It was a toss-up between Fall Guys and Among Us, but Among Us is like the game is either really good with a good group of people, or it's terrible and you never want to play it again with a terrible group of people. So, but Fall Guys, like I said, it's Mario Kart running. You do rounds, you have fun, you talk about life and the world and everything that's going on while you beat somebody with a giant egg. So it's good.
Lovely.
Mm.
And Rick, you play a lot more multiplayer than either of us, I
Yep.
think.
Mhm.
So I feel like you're gonna have a bit more gravitas in terms of your decision.
Sell me on this, man.
I really want to pick Tarkov, but it is not out yet on an official level. Like that game requires so much communication and understanding of what your partner's doing because there's no compass, there's no direction, there's no signs because they're all in Russian. It's one of those games you have to know what the other person's wearing because everyone kind of looks the same. So yeah, I wanted to pick that so bad, but I'm gonna go with Hunt because that is another game where you do have to communicate pretty well because you're on a team of up to 3.
Yeah.
I Sherpa'd Shalene and Archon the day they got the game, and I got their characters all the way to the end level, like level 50. They leveled their character all the way up. I've never done that. So I Sherpa'd them through this entire thing, and one of the reasons why this game I've picked it is because the names. The names when you pick a bounty hunter. So the way this game works, you have like 5 open slots. You pick a bounty hunter. It's permadeath, so when the bounty hunter dies, you lose them. But there's like a bunch of randomly generated bounty hunters that you can pick from. And the fun thing is their names are also randomly generated. And the group of people that I played with, it all started when my friend got somebody named Frank Cox, and he's like, "This is my character. I'm keeping this to Frank Cox."
Have you guys seen?
And then
Go ahead.
What?
Go ahead.
no, I was gonna say, and then the other buddy we played with got like Brian Cox. So then they were the Cox brothers. And then so like whenever we had to be careful when we played with these people because we didn't want to lose them. You know, we need to level up. We need to keep them. And so yeah, it's a lot of communication. It's when you're fighting the main bad guy, you got to be really careful not to throw lamps where your friends are gonna run because you'll catch them on fire.
Yeah. Yeah, I may have learned that.
Yeah.
That you can catch your friends on fire.
Mm-hmm. So it's definitely not as intense as Tarkov with communication because in Hunt you do have a compass and like a directional, so you can say like, oh, that shot came from 216, and everybody kind of has a relative idea of where that was.
Have you guys? It just makes me think. Have you guys seen Schitt's Creek?
No.
Anyone watch Schitt's Creek? So in Schitt's Creek, the mayor of the town of Schitt's Creek, his name is Roland Shit.
SCHITT, right?
Yes, SCHITT, and his wife and him have a baby, and they give the middle name of the baby after the Roses who move to this town, who lose all their money, and the only thing they own is this town, and that's the whole premise of the show. But the dad, his name is Johnny, so they give the baby's name, the middle name, Johnny. So the baby's name is Roland Johnny Shit. And it's just like, when you said Frank Cox, I was just like, oh man, so good.
I do have to tell you guys a really, really quick anecdote. Because there's a theme of friendly fire on this show. Me and my wife, we did our very first run, just me and her together on Tarkov. We didn't have a Sherpa, and like this game is just super realistic. And so we were making our way to a gas station, and we got ambushed by 2 other players. And I was like, we got to fall back to this gas station. I was like, I'll cover you. Run to behind the wall, and post up on the corner. So she runs and she posts up on the corner, and I'm like, cover me as I run to you. And I run to her, and I'm like, I'm coming to you now. And there's shots coming from the other guys, and I run behind her to take cover behind these tires, and I like get out from behind the tires, and I can see her clearly, and there's the corner of the building in front of me, and she slow turns and looks at me and goes bang 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 bang, like right into my chest, and I'm like, stop, and she goes, oh that's you. And I'm like, yes, I said I was coming to you. She goes, oh, I got shot, and I was turning to see where I got shot from, and I just see you standing there. It's like, you lit me up with a 9mm from 3 feet away.
At least it's not a new experience for you.
And like, I just stood there in like shock, and I was laughing because like, this is hilarious. Luckily, the bulletproof vest I had took all of the damage.
And also, it was a gas station. Well, it doesn't happen with blows with gas stations, but still, I was like, she's firing randomly at a gas station.
No, it wasn't randomly. It was very deliberately into my chest.
Okay.
I ended up taking a 7.62 to the arm, in which the bullet fragmented off into my heart, and then I died.
At least she's a good shot. That's very good for her.
It was a really stupid Russian PPSH gun, and she's murdered a few people with that thing. It's impressive in that game. But anyway, so Hunt is my nomination.
Lovely. Tim, what was the best multiplayer of 2020?
Do you want my joke answer or my real answer?
Real answer.
Real answer, Phasmophobia.
Okay.
Nice.
There's 2 kinds of people in this world, and in order to determine which you have, you apply pressure. People will either focus or they will fold. And ghosts tend to do that with people. They freak people out. And in a 3D space, oh, by the way, Phasmophobia, I think, if memory serves, I think that could be played in VR.
Ooh. Nope,
Yeah.
Don't like that. No.
I'm going to go get my Vive right now.
So, don't quote me on that because I have to double check,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I think.
Nope, hard pass.
But
Hard pass.
My joke answer is actually, don't write this one down because it's not official, is Call of Duty, because I miss my friends. A lot of people went out to play that game, and I don't talk to them anymore because I don't play the game.
You can throw that one under the best old game category.
Yeah. But Phasmophobia was a lot of fun with friends.
I gotta play that. I gotta
I
play
feel
that.
like we need to try that as a squad. I feel like
Yeah.
that would be fun to play together.
Shalene, what about you?
My nomination for best multiplayer is Animal Crossing New Horizons. It is so fun. It's so fun, and it's so wholesome. And I play a lot of multiplayer with my mom. We'll go visit each other's islands and show each other around, and like we'll make presents for each other and stuff. And it's lovely. And I feel like this game transcends traditional multiplayer this year because it's brought us all together. You know, we're sort of playing it together apart. You know, it's we all have that same experience. You know, with our debts to Tom Nook and the struggle of getting those DIYs out of balloons. And I feel like this transcends traditional multiplayer in a way that you don't have to necessarily play with other people to be enjoying the experience together. So that's my nominee.
Wow, the feels.
What do you say, Liz?
You know I'm biased. I mean, come on with the Animal Crossing. But Rick, you actually had a real multiplayer, and then Tim came along with multiplayer. He's mentioned it before, but I mean, yeah.
Well, I would like to let everybody know that Among Us was the winner for the Game Awards for best multiplayer.
Well, hey, that sounds like such a cool game. I'm really excited that I downloaded it. But anyway, Shalene, I actually really agree with you. This is the only game I can really talk about because I played I would say 700 hours. I mean, I don't know how many. I really like this game.
That's great.
It's a lot.
I've built a Queen stage. I've done all that, but actually, it is really phenomenal because of how much it's sold. Because it's not really like the top tier game ever, but also because people were having events in the game. That was really cool, like a graduation party. They couldn't get together. They put on little things, and it's really cute. Now, I'm not one for going to other people's islands or anything like that, but I really like what it did. Like for graduations, for somebody's birthday, people would come over. That's really cute. You know? I'm sorry. Okay, that's my rant.
It's lovely.
Thanks for sharing.
All right.
Last year's win was also a Nintendo title, Tetris 99.
Tell me about this. Okay, because I just got a Switch this year.
Oh my gosh, Liz.
Okay.
Tetris 99. It's a Tetris battle royale. So you're playing Tetris, right?
Yeah.
And so are 98 other people. And you can pick any of these people to send your disappeared lines to so that they will pop up, under their stacks. And other people can pick you. So maybe no one will be sending you lines. Maybe 10 people will be sending you lines. And it is frantic and exciting and frustrating. And it's such an incredible experience.
Sounds like Miami in the 1980s.
Man, even if you get knocked out early, the people that are at the tail end, you're just sitting there with your jaw on the floor like, how are they doing this?
People are so fast. They are so fast.
I haven't played it because I kind of get that experience being a grad student, so
yeah.
I don't need a game to overwhelm me with data.
That's incredible.
That's really
how do you
brilliant.
choose?
It's
Do you
really
pause
good.
the game and then send somebody, whatever?
No, there is no pause.
No.
It's yeah.
Do you choose people ahead of time? Do you have to do it?
Yeah,
mid-game?
you have a few seconds before the round begins,
Oh.
and you can choose to send your lines to someone.
Okay.
So.
And one more thing: is it a name-based thing? Because I'm worried about sexism in this. Would a bunch of dudes send it to a girl or
think
something?
you can see.
Okay.
names.
I don't even think there's a chat.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
there's definitely not a chat. And if you could see usernames, I don't think you can. But if you could, you wouldn't have time to really go through them
Okay.
and pick
Okay.
one.
So that's fair.
Yeah. So it's great though. And
Cool.
and the 2020 Stack Award goes to Animal Crossing. Congratulations, Nintendo. Our next category is the best old game, by which we mean the best game that you played in 2020 that was not released in 2020.
Oh God, you guys are gonna have a field day.
Yes.
I'm actually gonna take notes again on this. Okay.
Vendor, what was your favorite old game of 2020?
I had No Man's Sky down here, but I'm scratching that out. I'm gonna say Ark. Yeah, because Ark ebbs and flows through my life. There are months where I don't play it, and then there's years where I play it nonstop. And this year, we switched. We had a lot of changes with our server. We were on the same map for I think 2 years. It was very intricate. We built a lot of stuff. We did a lot of things. We had a great community, and then we decided to switch maps with the same people, no less. But we've added new people. We've created a whole new community to the existing one, but we've also built a small city in Ark, which we took Rick on a 2-hour tour.
It's an impressive city.
It's actually grown in size since the last time. We now have a rooftop restaurant, a lighthouse, and a resort. We also built an IKEA.
You built an IKEA?
Yes.
Wow.
So,
Like on purpose?
yeah.
Actually, no, they just showed up.
We
and
had
set one up
we
there.
had no instructions.
I was gonna ask, were all the parts included?
Yes. Did you use a hex wrench at any point?
Yeah, Ark. Ark is my choice.
Lovely. An excellent choice it is. Rick, what was your favorite old game of 2020?
No Man's Sky. Because the giant update that they did earlier this year was just came at the right
Brought you
time.
back in.
It brought me back in. It's the closest thing I can get to like the Expanse in a way where I can just explore and mine and be a space pirate, and it's just awesome. I would fly to galaxies because I hate the Geks. They're an awful race, and I would go to their galaxies particularly and just and blow apart all of their storage ships and take all of their loots. It's No Man's Sky is definitely where it's at.
Lovely. And Tim, what is your nominee?
My nominee for 2020 Best Old School Game goes to a game I hadn't played before. Somehow I completely missed it. A community member found out that I had not played BioShock and force-fed me the collection.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I loved BioShock. Not just like,
Mhm.
I really enjoyed that game. I played
Great.
through that on hard and I finished it. That game is awesome. The environmental storytelling,
Mm-hmm.
11 out of 10. It
Excellent
still holds up.
choice.
It still
Math
holds up.
is a
Excellent
wonderful
choice.
It's a
thing.
great one.
Great.
Gosh, that is such
BioShock.
a good choice.
What about you,
Um,
Shalene?
Mine was also a game that I had never played before this year. Well, I had played it a bit, but I'm not to this level. Left 4 Dead 2 was the primary game of Survival Horror Sunday this year. I loved it. It was so fun playing with you guys. I really enjoyed it. So Left 4 Dead 2, shooting lots of zombies, and also my friends. And learning that friendly fire is a thing. When
Only
I went
after you
through,
put a minigun into Arshen's
yes,
back.
I mean,
That was a lot.
I mean, he's very patient with me.
And
He's
he's like-
very patient with me, but I think it started to wear thin when I hit him in the back with the minigun. Yeah.
Although I did hold the record for most friendly fires in that game, so.
You did. It was really funny. I feel like a lot of that was my fault as well, though, for just
Nah.
wandering in front of you while you're shooting things.
You know what? You deserve that then. I mean, yeah, if you just wander in front of people, I'm sorry.
Actually, I
Yes.
should also tell you
That's
guys
fair.
that I finally reached 2,000 hours in Ark.
Oh my
Ooh,
goodness.
That's
Wow.
impressive.
That
That
is
is
impressive.
impressive.
That's crazy.
That's an
So-
achievement, Vendor. Congratulations.
Yeah, so that I started playing that in 2014.
Lovely.
I didn't realize it was that old.
Came out when Inquisition came out, I believe. Because I remember
Yeah.
Road was doing it. Okay. Anyway.
So-
if I might,
so
real
Liz.
quick, I had 1,800 hours on the clock before I took the amulet to Kvatch. Just saying.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh my god!
Wow.
Holy crap!
Real talk.
Are
No,
you?
that's
Real
the way to
talk.
play that game, though.
It
Nice.
is.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Yeah, because you don't have all those Oblivion gates everywhere.
Yep.
My lord.
Yep.
Liz, you probably have a nominee for this one.
Yeah. Actually, I have 3 because I saw this list and
I
I
have
knew we were
3.
supposed to do this. I have 3 because I can't make up my mind. Okay.
That's
All right, what are
fine.
they?
It's fine.
All
We
right.
make our own rules here.
All right.
Nominate 3.
The obvious, because I did play it this year, was Dragon Age 2.
Mhm.
But I have never played, and thank you, Tim, Breath of the Wild. And I've played it for the first time this year.
Oh, that game is a masterpiece. You
And-
can't have a Switch and not own that game. I'm sorry, it's against the rules.
Tim
So
was
good.
nice enough to send it to me, as a thank or congratulations on your Switch.
Mhm.
I can't thank you enough. I love this game, and that's probably the one I've got to say. But also, I have to say, playing the Smash Brothers Ultimate now for the first time, the newest one, and kicking your ass several times, very much was some of the greatest thing I've had in my entire life. Like the
Nice.
greatest fun I've had. But Breath of the
Almost
Wild,
just got me.
I loved it.
And
Oh,
what is
bullshit!
your-
I got you a lot of times. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm shouldn't have.
What is your third choice?
Oh, well,
It was-
Dragon Age 2 was kind of a joke, but
Yeah.
yeah, Breath of the Wild or Smash, Breath of the Wild. Yeah.
Smash?
Yeah.
Smash Brothers.
Smash Brothers.
Super Smash Brothers, yeah.
I'm really kind of good at Smash Bros. Well, semi good. He beat me a couple times last time.
I literally have Breath of the Wild paused right now. It's that important.
Lovely.
It's in my
I
game
think
thing.
I would gladly see Breath of the Wild win this category.
Yeah, I out of all the ones we've mentioned, I think it's the one that
Breath of
Should
Breath
win.
of the Wild just makes me want to like brush my teeth.
My only gripe with Breath of the Wild is the voice actress for Zelda, and I feel
I
so
skip those
bad
scenes.
because I love Zelda in this one because she's such a powerhouse.
Yeah, her
but
character is great.
but the voice actress like she just couldn't be bothered. Like, "Link, come save me."
You're right.
And you're
You're
like,
right.
maybe she's just exhausted for holding back Ganon for
Yes,
100 years.
Because 100 years, and then Link wakes up. She's like, "Oh, thank God!" Right? But no, he goes off to like make soup and cut the grass.
Thank
and-
you. Thank you. And I do like the cocky characters. I like I like the Zora guy that is just they're so
Oh,
full of themselves.
Prince Sidon.
And
I
then
love
the-
him with his the tooth.
Rivali, oh my god, or whoever that that guy is.
Yeah.
Whatever. I know Rivali scale is what I use, but I love the cocky characters. Okay, anyway,
So
sorry.
good, so
Awesome.
I really love it.
Breath of the Wild wins that one, I guess.
good. Yeah.
All right.
Nintendo's gonna be so pleased when they get their trophies.
Yeah.
We can pack them in the same box.
Mm.
Our next category is the biggest surprise. So, what was the biggest surprise that you experienced in gaming in 2020? Vendor, what's your nominee?
This one's gonna go to Fall Guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I didn't realize how excited I was to play it every time I knew that I was sitting down to play it. And you play with friends, and you play with 30 or 40 or 50 other random people, and there's seasons. So, right now we're in winter, so a lot of the courses are very Christmas themed, and there's different outfits and stuff like that, but it always it's simple. You walk away from it, and that's it. Like, there's no storyline, there's no complex, it's just a simple game. And you think that you wouldn't really get that attached to it, but it's really good.
Lovely.
That's the one.
Rick, what was your biggest surprise?
This game I love. I love it. And I sunk in like over 100 hours at this point, and it hasn't been out that long. But the reason that Cyberpunk 2077 is the biggest surprise is how just screwed up. It's like it's like buying
was a
something
bad
from one of those
surprise.
it's like buying something from one of those as seen on TV things, and you get it and you're
you
like
ordered it off a Wish.
it's
Yeah.
plastic and
Rick-
it doesn't work.
Rick took me
Really?
to Dick Twister.
Dicky Twisters. It's a gay bar, and
Okay.
It's glorious.
the neon sign is just a giant phallus just going blink blink
and
blink
it's
blink,
waving.
blink.
Oh, that's
It's
It's
flopping all around.
amazing. It's
But here's
amazing.
what's crazy about this game. Like,
I wanna
the
go there.
choices, and we've talked about this before, it's the choices that they chose to make don't make any sense. Like, again, you have these beautiful, like, this ridiculous gaudy gay bar, and you walk in, everybody's fully clothed. nobody seems to be having a good time. You
It's
can't order
really
any
weird.
drinks. It's like
that's
walking
really
into the
sad.
strip clubs in Vice City, and you're like, this is kind of boring.
The only
actually.
activities people are engaging in is just like
breaking up.
lines of coke.
That's
You-
it.
You
It's
go
so-
you go in
it's
the
just-
back
it's-
room where there's people stripping, but it's just fully clothed people, and there's a person just standing in front of the next person.
Yes, and so like, but then you'll go out driving, and the potholes will make your car bounce, and you're like, why did you pick that detail to put in there? Like,
I can't order a drink, but there's potholes. Come on.
so
Yeah, man, priorities, people. Come on.
so like it's just such a weird, disjointed game, and the reason it's my biggest surprise is yes, because of how much of a trash fire you love to hate. But
Right.
I do like that game a lot.
Great.
I see its potential, and I hope that the company stays in business long enough to get it there.
Oh, they will. They will.
Well,
I mean,
aren't they
made
backed by
buckets
Microsoft?
of money.
No?
No,
no.
but they're getting
But-
sued in lawsuits. But
They've
Yep.
made enough money that none of that matters.
And let's not
So.
forget the course correct that they did with Witcher 3. They actively mold
Oh, yeah.
as they go.
I mean, if
Yeah,
No
yeah.
Man's Sky can survive this long, Cyberpunk's gonna do just fine.
Yeah, I'm not worried about CD Projekt Red.
Tim,
No,
what
they'll
about
be-
you? What's your nomination?
Oh man, the biggest surprise for me for 2020. You guys have all heard of Konami, right? You all heard of this company? Anybody?
Mhm.
No? Right?
Once or
Konami?
twice.
Oh, yeah.
They have a code, right?
Yeah, but yes. What do you think of? The first thing that comes to your mind when you hear Konami?
Metal Gear
What's the first
Solid.
thing?
Photocopiers. Oh wait, that's Konica Minolta. Never mind. Sorry.
Goodness, could you imagine if
Close.
Hideo worked for Konica Minolta? You'd like make a photocopy, and then out would print like a dog or a poodle. You're like, what? No,
How
I
would print
understand
Mads
that dude's mind.
Mikkelsen?
yes, just a face.
Yeah.
No,
You're
the
behind
first
it.
thing I think of is Metal Gear Solid with Konami.
Right? Okay, cool. Right? Yeah, I'm down. I love Metal Gear games. They're available on GOG, by the way. Go grab those. A lot of people, they get kind of a sour taste in their mouth talking about Konami because they haven't really been the greatest company, but they really did us a solid this year. There was absolutely zero warning when Symphony of the Night showed up on mobile, and that was fantastic. I have to remind myself, don't take my phone to the bathroom because I'm gonna make it all the way from the marble gallery to the clock tower and be like, oh, I gotta go back to work. You know, I was so ecstatic when that thing hit my phone because I last year, or was it the year before, I recently upgraded and bought a big grown-up adult phone with the big screen and the data plan, and then all these new games that I could play like Elder Scrolls Blades and these 3D games,
Mhm.
and then Symphony of the Night, no warning, boom, it's on the store, and I was like, take my money. And it's like my 7th copy of Symphony now, and thank you, Konami, for. Next up is Steam. Come on, why is Symphony not on Steam? Don't
Mhm.
you guys like money? So I mean,
Nice.
that's mine for this year.
Lovely.
Shalene?
Mine is Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity. So I picked this game up because it is a prequel story to Breath of the Wild, and I mean it's Musou game. I don't remember, is that how you pronounce it, Musou? But it's basically in the vein of Dynasty Warriors, and I always thought those games looked just like no fun at all.
Except
just
for
no
the
fun at all.
Gundam version of Dynasty Warriors.
But I was shocked that I don't only enjoy the cutscenes, I also enjoy the gameplay. This is fun as heck. I love Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity. It's a great game. So
Can you explain it more to me?
Okay.
Because I literally know nothing except for what the screenshots. I mean, they don't even
So-
screenshots of the game. Okay.
it's half visual novel, right? So
Okay.
you're getting these really quality cutscenes using the assets from Breath of the Wild.
Okay.
So that's great. You have a great story happening with all of these characters that you know and love. You get a young version of some of the elderly people in the game.
Aw.
In Breath of the Wild. It's so cute. But then when you jump into gameplay, you're facing a ton of enemies, and you have all these different attacks. You can switch between different heroes. You can play as Link, you can play as Zelda, you can play as Impa. There's just a ton of different characters that you can play as. and each one has a different fighting style, different attacks. It's really good, really good.
Huh.
So,
Okay.
yeah, quite fun. What's
I played a
the
bunch of
winner,
those
Liz?
Dynasty
Oh,
Warrior.
that's Cyberpunk.
Good.
Are you kidding me? I believe the S show, as I believe Rick put it,
Mm-hmm.
because even I got wind of it.
Yeah.
And I'm not a new game person, obviously, but even I got wind of like the anger and rage and elation that people had about this game. I mean, people were passionate about it. And was this the one where the genitalia would go outside of the clothing?
Oh yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I just want to
There's-
make sure.
I've changed shirts on the stream, and it's just like boobs and then shirt, and
Okay.
you're just like, okay, sure.
And so this was also the Keanu thing, was it?
Yeah.
Okay,
Keanu's
so
in it.
those two together, just I mean, I'm not gonna choose anything else.
Yeah.
Cyberpunk.
It's such a
Me.
weird game. Man, it is a really weird combination of errors and highs and lows. But anyway.
It really sounds like, I mean, you enjoy it no matter what. I mean, you said it, so yeah.
I mean, Sean Murray could probably give them a few pointers.
No idea who Sean.
Hey,
This is
watch
how you
that
recover
Gamestack
from a
be viable
colossal
next year.
disaster.
Yeah, I agree. I do agree with you, Tim. But I will say I've built up a good set of armor playing Bethesda games for this long. Where like you get into a game with glitches, you're like, oh, this is just. Did it break the game? No, we're fine.
I
Doesn't
feel like
matter,
it's
all
that
good.
meme from the Buster Scruggs movie. It's like, oh,
First
first time.
Also, like when you drive a Mini, like I did, you're just used to the little things that just go. It starts, it gets you from A to B. You're good.
Just to review, we skipped a couple of last year's winners in review. The best old game from last year was Sea of Thieves, and
yeah.
the biggest surprise from last year was Resident Evil 2.
Was a big surprise.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
it was
about
good.
that Sea
That
of
was really
Thieves, dude, your guys' fervor with the Sea of Thieves caused me to buy that game. I knew nothing about
So
it, and I
good.
watched you guys
So
play it.
good.
For
And what do
half
you
an hour,
what do you
and
think
I
of
threw
it?
money at the screen. I haven't played it yet. Where'd y'all
Really?
go?
You gotta play it with us.
I have
It'd be
it.
great.
I bought
You
it,
just-
and y'all left.
You never.
went to play
never.
other
Hey, I
games.
still play it.
Tim.
I still play it.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
can come sailing with me anytime.
All right.
That brings us to a special category that we added in this year because 2020 was a special year, and I thought we deserved a category
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
No,
about
I'm-
the game that
I'm
helped
good.
you
I'm
survive
perfectly-
2020.
Oh, that's
Perfectly
cute.
normal. I don't.
Vendor, what was the game that helped you survive 2020 between isolation and lockdowns
This
and
was
uncertainty?
this was weird.
It was a weird year.
This was a weird year. It was I don't know. I'm trying to think of like Red Dead Redemption 2
Mm-hmm.
is a really strong contender because I can get so immersed in that game that days go by and I'm still playing it.
Right.
Your screenshots are gorgeous.
Well, I mean, I'm
As
playing on a
well.
49-inch ultra-wide curved monitor, so Red Dead
Yeah.
kind of up there. The other one, and this is probably my choice, is Sea of Thieves, and that's because they've just brought a lot of DLC every month. There's new updates, so they keep you engaged. But I also made a lot of new friends this year on Sea of Thieves. People from Spain, people from Austria and Germany and America and Canada. I've made a lot of Canadian online friends, which I didn't really have before. Most people that I played video games with lived outside of Canada, so it's cool to have some sort of things that you can relate to playing with those people. And now I play other games with those people too. We play Fall Guys and Among Us and Raft and Ark, and it's really great. So Sea of Thieves is probably my
Lovely.
game. Microsoft Flight Sim, also a strong contender, just because it dropped in August and I haven't been able to put it down since. So
Nice.
Rick, what game helped you survive 2020?
Fallout 76, mainly because it was the one where it kept the community spirit alive for me. You know, with being able to build I built this house that the inside of it was was a lake. I built it in the middle of a lake, but in the middle of the house was like a rock and like a bit of water, and I made it like a little party thing. And one of the highlights of last year was having our Halloween event, right, where we had it was a good chunk of our listeners hanging out with us, and just bit trash. Oh man. And I can't remember the screen name of the other gentleman who he played from Poland, I think.
Oh, his name is
Sora.
Yes, Sora.
And both Bit Trash and Sora. I loved every single second from there because, like, for those of you who don't know, Bit Trash is from Germany and Sora's from Poland.
So
And
there's
in
a
my
little
head-
bit of contention
in
there.
Oh, wow, wow.
In my
wow.
head, I was thinking like of like Faulty Towers, like don't mention the war. And boy, they just went at it and started messing with each other, and I was like, "This
So
is
good.
everything I've ever wanted in life, right here." It's just playing
great.
with
great.
listeners and them just bantering and
Bit Trash is so fun. One day I was in Fallout
was a lot of
76.
fun.
One day just farting around by myself, and all of a sudden I hear "Hello, Vendatron," and I'm like, "Ah, how are you?"
and I know my terrible German accent frustrates him to no end, but it is
Yes.
still so fun to do. But
Sakaiza.
I-
So good.
I
So
loved
good.
playing Fallout 76 with the community members, and we
Lovely
need to do that
people.
more. Actually, we
We
need to
do.
really do that more. But,
Lovely people.
Tim.
Tim, what game helped you survive 2020?
The multiplayer one.
Oh,
Honestly,
that one.
30.
With the way 2020 went, I had to find a way to get outside and do things with people. I'm a social creature. It was a necessity. The focus of my streams swung really hard from single player games. I'm halfway through BioShock 2 and I haven't been back to it in so long because all I want to do is play with my friends. It's been 7 Days to Die, Borderlands, Destiny 2, Elite Dangerous, Grand Theft Auto 5 Online, Halo, anything where we could do it together. And ESO was the binding agent in between all of those games. And just, I wish I could pick one, but the multiplayer one, honestly. Screw
Okay.
you, 2020. I'm going to have fun anyway.
Mine is predictable. It's Animal Crossing New Horizons. Anytime that I felt bad this year, I could open up my little island on Animal Crossing and just, it was wholesome and it made me feel good and I could control what happened and it was lovely. So, Liz, what game helped you get through 2020?
Well, first, Tim, I would just say your game is the game of streaming on Twitch because it really has, helped you. I can
It
tell.
has been a
But
bit
anyway.
of a meta game for me. Yes,
It
Yeah.
has been.
that's
And
accurate.
therefore, because a metagame, my metagame was playing D&D for the first time on Roll20. Do you know how hard that software is to run if you don't
that's
know?
so good.
But I
Yeah.
know that doesn't count as a video game, but that also with the friends, I'd
say
love
it
to
counts.
switch a lot of people.
It totally counts.
If not, it's obviously going to be Animal Crossing because I did play so much. But yeah, when you are by yourself, I haven't talked to a lot of people in a long time, and I'm sad I haven't talked to you guys in a long time. So
missed ya.
being able to reconnect with people, I'm gonna tear up. Reconnect with people.
Yeah,
That's it.
it's hard.
Yeah.
It's
For real. 2020
we
kinda sucked.
we are all simultaneously going through the same shit.
I think that
And-
means that Tim's game won, the multiplayer one.
Yeah. Game of the year,
That's-
any multiplayer game that will connect you with people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That brings us to the big award, the Game of the Year, the 2020 Stack Award for Game of the Year.
I don't
Vendor.
even know.
Sony
Game
guys.
of the Year.
This one for me is Microsoft Flight Sim because I'm still in awe. And I can't wait to continue to explore all of every corner of the world. So, yes, it's totally amazing.
Lovely.
I wouldn't really classify it a game, but anyways, PUBG. Sullivan is saying in the chat. Remember that year when we were like,
Yeah,
it's
All
PUBG.
the games won.
We all gave the nomination, and the
Ay.
award always went to PUBG.
What were we thinking?
We commit
a
to a
funny
bit,
bit.
man. We commit to a bit. Nobody commits to a bit like us.
Those were some
No.
great streams. I was in the crowd for a lot of that, laughing. So you couldn't hear me laughing, but it was happening.
Yeah.
I loved that.
I'm still impressed at my random grenade over the house with double kill that I got
so
that
good.
one time.
That was so good. So good.
Yeah, it's great.
But Rick, what was this year's Game of the Year for you?
I don't even know because I was trying to think about like the game that kept me involved this year, and there wasn't a clear winner. Most of the games that I played this year weren't even out, so kind of by default it would be Cyberpunk 2077, only because I couldn't stop playing it. It was just like the story's engaging enough to keep me in it, and I wanted to hear like with everything that was going down with Keanu and the relationship between V and Keanu as that grew. Like they did a really good job, I thought, at the characters and driving the story, and the ending I also thought was really poignant for the way that the story led up to it. Not exactly how I wanted it to end, but it was very poignant. And so, I mean, just by default, that's the game that kept me going back to it, and still has me going back to it.
Lovely.
And I don't mean to be tropey or campy with that. It's just
that's great. You've enjoyed the game. Tim, what was your game of the year?
My game of the year. So the impetus behind me streaming was to finish games. I don't finish a lot of them. My game of the year, I finished 3 times this year.
Oh.
nice.
Is it Doom?
I want that to sink in. It's Doom.
Yeah.
No, it's Doom. Doom Eternal is amazing. It's Doom perfected. If you run out of ammo, it's your fault. If you die, it's your fault. If you're surrounded, it's your fault. The way they built that game, the systems surrounding the way it works. It works. And this is the game that's going to make me buy a Naga mouse because I need more buttons.
Nice.
Get the Naga
Eternal.
Trinity series because you can swap out the sides.
Give it to me. Give it to me. I want. Yes, I'm going to buy a mouse here pretty soon.
See, you can swap out the sides for the 16 buttons or the little ones.
My roommate has one, and I'm going to steal it someday when he's
awesome.
not looking.
Lovely. My game of the year is fairly predictable. It's Animal Crossing New Horizons. That's hands down. It's the game of the year for me. I nothing else compares. That game was everything for me this year. So, Animal Crossing New Horizons. Liz, do you have a nomination?
You know it was going to be Animal Crossing because that's basically what I played.
Sure, that's for a lot of people, really.
Mm-hmm.
It is amazing, and I actually had another thought, and then when Tim was doing his like face with his tongue out, my screen froze for about 30 seconds, so I didn't hear what Shailene said, but I'm guessing it was Animal Crossing.
Yes,
you're right. Yeah,
and
right.
But I had another idea, and I'm really sad. Okay, yeah, but yeah, it is Animal Crossing.
Awesome.
Okay, so 2020's Gamestack Game of the Year Stack Award goes to Animal Crossing New Horizons.
That's up to you guys.
Is it a 20? It's 2020. It's a 2020 game.
Yeah. April of 2020.
Wow.
It's the only
It
reason I
came
was
out
able
the
to get a
same day
Switch.
as Doom.
That's
Oh,
right.
same
All
day.
of the fan art of Isabelle and
Yes.
Doom Guy.
Yes.
Oh, that was
Really?
the best.
They came out the same day. There's 2 kinds of people, and we got to find out who everybody was on that day.
That was so good. Yeah, that was so good.
That's
yeah.
amazing.
Do you guys have an issue with Animal Crossing? Do you want to
Nope.
continue the discussion?
Well deserved.
No.
If Animal Crossing New Horizons isn't in history books, not that books are really made anymore
Well,
for history.
we
But
know
anyway,
what you mean.
it's an event. That is an
Yeah.
event that the
Yeah.
entire world participated in. It feels like. Does anybody know the saturation rate for the New Horizons on Switch? I'm sure it's pretty high.
It's got to be pretty
It's-
high.
yeah.
Yeah, the adoption
Yeah.
rate has got to be pretty
So-
high.
Do you know how fast Switches ran out? Like I had to get a Switch Lite.
Yes.
With the money that us poor people got, I was able to pay some bills and get a Switch for the first, which I've been waiting for years.
Mhm.
And then Animal Crossing was
Level
out.
up.
I could only get a Lite. I could only get a Switch Lite, and there was one left in a 100-mile radius of me. That's
Wow.
ridiculous. Like it's because of Animal Crossing.
Yeah,
That-
those
I mean,
things sold out quick.
My
Yeah.
Switch purchase was a shady purchase at a Subway with a dude. I didn't know his name. For real.
You like bought a Switch from a guy in a trench coat? Like he just opened his trench
like
coat.
Resident
a
Evil
kid.
4.
Switches.
Dude,
What are you buying?
yeah, the kid
I
was
mean,
half my age.
The real
It was like,
question
"You want
is,
this?
did
want this?"
you get a sub after? because
Yeah.
like
No.
you don't
no, I did
just
not.
go
I
to
got a
Subway
Switch,
and
less
not
a
get
kidney, and I'm good.
Lovely.
Yeah, pretty much.
So
Okay,
All
game
right.
of the
I
year.
also wanted to
Animal
give us a
Crossing.
little opportunity to mention any honorable mentions. If anybody had a game they wanted to shout out that did not qualify for nomination. Does anybody have any honorable mentions? Vendor, do you have any?
No Man's Sky, because they are doing fantastic work this past year. Their DLCs that they've launched have been some of the best that they've done. So well done to Sean Murray and team. Your trophy for honorable mention is in the
Rick, do you have any honorable mentions?
I think it's going to be a category we're going to have to add next year, but remakes.
Oh.
Yeah. But my honorable mention, just because it didn't fit any of these, because it is a remake, was Mafia 1. Holy crap, was that just a fantastic remake that was
Lovely.
engaging, and it was like an open worldly enough to where you weren't wasting your time doing like eensy teensy side quests, but you were just sticking with the story, and it was just great. And yeah, it was awesome. It's a fun time.
great.
Billie Holiday playing on the radio. It's great.
Tim, honorable mentions?
Honorable mentions for me for 2020. The one thing that I wanted so badly and currently don't have the infrastructure to participate in, VR. I want Half-Life Alyx so bad.
It's great.
I love Half-Life.
So
The first thing I did was find the chalk, and I drew a penis on the.
Of course
As
you
you
did.
do.
You're such
As
a
you
child.
do. Yeah, but think
What?
about the tools that they give you in this game. If you are encumbered, you can pick up a thing and physically hold it and carry it.
Yes. Yep.
Because
Right.
it doesn't count, and I'm like, there's so many clever, tiny, funky little things that you can do in VR that you just can't do any other way, and you can't experience it unless you experience it.
So good.
I
That is
want
so
Half-Life
great.
Alyx so bad.
I'm gonna have to stream that.
I don't have any honorable mentions this year. I was able to talk about all the games that I wanted to talk about. Liz, do you have any?
Well, I just want to mention that flight simulator that Vendertron kept saying, because he's so into it
So cool.
that I feel really bad that
He puts on some good streams. There's
I
some.
mean-
I flew with
I
him a
mean,
couple of
the
times. It's a good time.
flights. I mean, Tim, it's
Sounds
come a long
amazing.
way. It's come a long way since you can actually land the commercial airliners now.
Yeah, I know
Nice.
you
It
were having
was
some problems with that
so the autopilot was so bugged before that you
Wait.
just couldn't. But now you can. It's
scares me.
come a long way. Yeah.
That really scares me, though. It's like a passenger flight. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey,
I'm not that
Vendor,
great at it.
if
Yeah.
you're gonna be doing like a tour like the Seven Wonders, dude, post a tweet because I want to see some of this stuff, man.
Oh yeah,
That'd be
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
you should see in the WJLG chat under the Flight Sim channel. I posted a couple of pictures flying over the pyramids of Giza, and it's just phenomenal. But the other thing I forgot to mention is that the real weather is modeled.
Mm-hmm.
So if there's a hurricane, there's a hurricane in the
terrifying.
sim.
That is amazing.
And now they have snow. So the other day I flew from Halifax to St. John's, Newfoundland, and I flew through the ice storm that they had, which
Ooh.
was wild because the runway wasn't there until it was 100 feet in front of me.
Wow.
So
Oh, I take that back. That scares the crap out of me. Oh
It
my
was
God.
terrifying. It was
Oh.
terrifying. Whiteout
Oh.
conditions. All you have to rely on is your instrumentation. And
Wow.
Oh no.
the other thing,
That
though,
sounds
is that if you just want to like go somewhere tropical, you can do that.
Yeah.
And the crystal
go to
blue
Epstein's
waters
Island.
of Thailand,
You heard what they did with that, right?
Epstein's Island.
Yeah.
They all
They
landed
s-
there and hung out.
anyways,
So,
yeah.
thanks, guys. We had a lot of fun talking about the games of 2020. Before we wrap up the conversation, we have one more topic. What are you looking forward to in 2021 and beyond? Vendor, what is your most anticipated game?
Skull and Bones.
We're never going to get it.
It's gonna happen, okay?
Skull and Bones. Skull
It's
and Bones.
never gonna happen.
Don't
from
take this away
Ubisoft,
from me.
The pirate game from the team that did the boat thing for Assassin's Creed Black Flag. And Skull and Bones looks amazing. It's been restarted a couple of times. It looks amazing. I hope we do get it better, and I hope it's just as wonderful as you want it to be. Rick, what's your most anticipated game?
Back for Blood for right now.
Ooh, yeah, that's the
spiritual
Left 4 Dead.
The spiritual successor to Left 4 Dead 2 is Back for Blood.
Lovely.
So I'm excited for that one.
Lovely. And Tim?
Speaking of restarted, I'm sure it'll come as no surprise to you.
Mhm.
Metroid Prime 4 is my most anticipated. I'm a huge fan of that series, and they gave it back to retro, which
Yes.
should have been your first choice in the beginning. I cannot put into words the palpable anticipation I have for this, knowing that we know nothing. We know nothing. There's no concept art. There's no story
There was a
teaser
logo.
trailer. There's no that's it. You got a number 4 colored by a big blue nebula in space. That's it. And I need more than just a logo. I need to
Tim,
know.
you don't.
I do.
I take it back. The new
I do.
007 game that's coming out supposedly this month.
Oh, Indiana Jones. I'm really anticipating.
Yeah, but that's not coming out in 2021. That's coming out
We
in a
don't
few
know.
years.
I didn't know 2021. Like, we don't know what's coming out in 2021.
Yeah.
Just whenever.
Oh, whenever? Oh.
Yeah,
I'm
she said
sorry.
any future. Yeah.
I thought it was
Also,
2021.
Also, Perfect Dark.
Oh, right.
Looks
I'm
cool.
excited for that one too. That's my number 2 slot, if there was one. But yeah.
Everybody's got a number 2.
I
Sleep
am right
sleep
there.
simulator.
I am right there with Tim for Metroid Prime 4. That is my most anticipated game right now. It's been a very, very long time since we had a Metroid game, and I can't wait. I can't
An
wait.
actual Metroid game.
Yes. an actual
Well,
Metroid
Samus Returns
game.
is fantastic. That's another one of those
Yes,
games
that's
I've finished multiple
Samus
times,
Returns
but
was fantastic.
yeah.
Yeah. Liz, what's your most anticipated game?
Everybody will probably guess my number 1, but I'm also excited for this Baldur's Gate thing.
Oh
Yes.
yes.
I've never I've watched Tim play it, and I don't have like the demo or whatever you guys are doing, your testing or whatever. I don't have that.
That
but
game
it's
is
already-
fantastic. That game is
But-
fantastic.
On the same lines, obviously, Dragon Age 4. I mean, come on.
Of course.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah,
She got a
cannot wait.
wish.
Mhm.
Yeah, but it has a lot of to do with the elves, the bald elf, and you know what?
Mhm.
I'm a little sick of that guy.
So am I. So am
I
I.
wasn't really too much of a fan of Inquisition. I loved it, but I wasn't not.
Oh,
like, "Ah."
wait.
Yeah.
Well,
I
it-
felt
it-
the same way. It
it's-
was good, but not great.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say the
So
same thing.
I'm just hoping that God nobody gets to romance the elf, or a Solus. Just because. Yeah. Just
It's
if you know why I'm stammering, then you understand.
Yes. I am quite done with that character as well. Quite
Thank
done.
you. Thank you.
yeah, this one isn't coming out in 2021, but I am very much anticipating Arc 2
Oh, right. With Vin Diesel.
with
Yeah.
Vin
You
Diesel.
are too furious.
Vin Diesel and Russell Crowe is also going to be
Is
in
he
that.
really?
Oh my.
And Michelle
Branch.
Pfeiffer?
No.
Yeah, Pfeiffer's the only one.
Yo?
Tackenberg,
Shell Yo.
Michelle Yeoh. Yeah, she's going to be in it as well.
She's brilliant.
Yeah.
I love her.
Michelle Yeoh is.
She's a famous Asian American actress, I believe. She's been in a lot of different films. She's actually in the new Star Trek Discovery. She is
Really?
the captain. So,
Well, thank you everyone for joining us for the 2020 Stack Awards. This was so much fun. So much fun. Thank you, Liz and Tim, for joining us.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
having us.
Yeah, it was
So much.
really good.
yeah, it's very
we
nice.
need to have you back more often instead of just like once every year and a half. We need to have you guys back more often. Does anybody have anything they want to plug? Tim, you
Tim.
stream on Twitch. You want to talk about that?
Thanks. Yeah, I appreciate the time. Time and space are very big deals for me, and for you guys to share yours is it means something. Seriously, thank you. I was racing to get here on time. And
We appreciate your
Yeah.
We
time.
just wanted you to be safe.
Yes.
oh, super safe. I got
We
a
talked about it.
5-star crash test rating on my car, so I'm totally fine. Plugging, I do stream. I'm holding myself accountable to finish some games and using the community to do it. And I'm having a great time, and I've met a bunch of people. I like to say that my stream is small yet mighty. I don't know if that's too cliche, but
Mighty
I've been
Mouse
doing
is
this
awesome, man.
I've been doing this for 5 years, and I think I've got 150 followers. Like, I'm not trying to reach the stars. I'm trying to have a good time. So if you guys want to have a good time, Liz can attest. She's come and visit and say hi. Shailene, you've stopped by. You guys have each in turn. You know, Vin Diesel, Tron, Rick. You guys are all having a great time. I just love it. And yeah, thanks for the time.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
problem. It was nice having you guys on.
Yes.
And that
yes.
channel is TimTwig81.
Twitch.tv
Yeah, I use the
slash
same handle everywhere.
Tim
Yeah.
Twig
My name, my
81.
nickname, the year I was born. I don't hide anything. This is me. This
Twig
is my
with
name.
2 G's.
2 G's.
Tim Twig with 2 G's 81. So
Yeah.
find him on Twitch.
Thank
Liz,
you.
do you have anything you want to plug?
I want to plug Tibbs' channel. That's how much I really. He is very entertaining. If you haven't seen him, please, at any point, even if he's been streaming for hours, at the end of those hours, he is still entertaining. And
He is a great
I
streamer.
mean,
He
actually,
really is.
turn your earphones off, Tim, because I don't get a big ear. He is one of the best streamers I've ever seen. And
Aw, that's
I
cute.
don't watch streams because I get jealous if somebody's playing something that I can't have, which is everything. So I don't usually do it. He makes everything fun, and okay, you can put your headphones back on. Well, how would you know that I said that?
It's okay. You can
There you go.
Yeah.
But anyway, and Dragon Age 4. A lot of people have been asking.
I don't know
about,
what you said, but thank you.
I said
Afterwards.
you were a cock. What? Sorry, I had to stop myself. Dragon Age 4. When that comes out, a lot of people have been asking about the Dragon Age Off the Record. I had to quote unquote change the name, so it's Dragon Age On the Record now. So I do.
Yeah, we get it.
Yeah.
Are you
so
are you thinking about doing another show when it comes to Dragon Age?
We are. We are.
Ooh.
Oh.
Yeah.
So
Well,
excited! I love
Is this
that
wait,
show.
is this a WJLG exclusive?
Yeah, actually, yes, on a podcast. Yeah. Well,
We'll have our people call your people.
but
I like the sound
and
of this.
Road, it would be coming out of retirement for that, and we also may be adding someone else that is also very passionate about the elf side of everything. So that way we cover everything.
Nice.
But it would still be
our
a
chat is
miniseries.
very excited about that.
And we are not going to. We're going to do exactly what we did before. We're not going to speculate. We don't do that. We talk about
Yeah.
our gameplay. We talk about the game, and then it's over.
Nice.
Well, we're gonna have to
Right.
have you back on the show when you get that rounded
Yeah.
out.
Oh, that would be cool.
Absolutely.
That would be very cool.
I'm excited for that. That makes me really happy. I love Dragon Age Off the Record.
excited. Please, yes, and thank you. Do this.
So-
Make it a thing. Make the thing.
And that would be at Dragon Age. It's still Dragon Age OTR because guess what? I changed the initials.
That's
Nice.
so
Almost.
cheeky. It's
Almost.
so cheeky.
It's
I love
exactly
it.
what I did.
I love a good middle finger up the fruit chute.
And of course, join us next week for that Fallout show. You know, and the week after that for more
Gamestack.
Gamestack.
There
We
you go.
love you. We love you.
Tim's dying.
Email the show at info@wejustlovegames.com. Follow us on Twitter. You can follow the show at We Just Love Games. You can follow me at Shaline L, SHALINEL. Follow Rick at Rick McVick. Follow Vendor at VendorTronN. And follow Tim at TimTwig, 2 G's, 81. And follow Liz at Mistress Lebeau, LEBEAU. You can find the show on Facebook at facebook.com/WeJustLoveGames, the group facebook.com/group/WeJustLoveGames. Join our Discord. There's a link on the Twitch page. Alternately, you can send us a message on social media. We'll get to the link. And of course, join us here on Twitch, twitch.tv/WeJustLoveGames. We record live 6:30 p.m. Mountain Time, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We are on YouTube, iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Spotify, etc., etc. Like, subscribe, review the show. It helps us grow. It helps us find a wider audience. Thank you for listening. And does anybody have a last word?
Here's to a
Tim?
better 2021. I don't
I'm gonna
know.
give it to Tim. Gonna give it to Tim.
Oh, is
That's
he raising his
so filled with false hope.
Yeah.
Because 2020, you guys know a thing came out this year. Be excellent to each other.
And
Are we on?
Thanks for
There you go.
Thanks for watching, everyone.
Thanks, guys.